welcome to Chaotic Calling Streaming. I'm your DM Starwind, and I'm about to take dancing lights through another hellish day in Elsperia. Join us as we continue to discover and explore. I don't know. Joining me are Leo, the half-orc Light of Illuminous Paladin.
Hey guys.
Seraph, the half-elf Assassin Rogue.
Evening.
Gordon, the Dwarven Cleric of Kazia.
Hello.
Oscar, the half-elf Draconic Sorcerer. And Sidaria, the Divine Warlock of Illumina. Thank you for finally joining me!
No. Sorry.
You're running me late, kid. Running me late. Last we left our party, Zareth was able to run into Sparrow, who helped him out of his frightened state. Informing Sparrow about Smiles and asked if he could consider that she might be manipulated, try to stay her trial, try to keep her out of trouble for a moment, don't kill her right away, while the rest of the party tries to find a way to prove that she's being manipulated. The rest of the party spends their time trying to find Zareth. The party decides to head to the guild to see if those stones that they got will allow them to track their rogue friend. With the door being locked, kind of catches the group off guard and they knock, gain entrance, informed due to recent events they had to lock up for the night. The stones they have weren't made to locate another unless you use locate object yourself on it. A scream is heard in the streets and the group is then kind of led out of the guild hall, down the streets to try to figure out where the screaming came from. Turning their way towards where it came from, they find guards already tending to a corpse. This music is way too cheerful. Hold on one second. Dun, 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 dun. Way too cheerful for this. There we go. So, the guild. He ran out of the guild, went to the southern guards, were not on this scene, which caused some alarm in the group, and then a couple of the guards had to check out the southern guard post, which you guys joined. Zareth returns home, opens the door, and see a bloodied Smiles. And she greets him simply with a coy smile, acting as if she was the maid in service. "Welcome home, master." And with that, she leaps up the stairs, into a random room and out a window, making her way down the streets, quickly hiding away from all eyes involved. The rest of the party barge into the southern guardhouse and find a corpse of a previous guard captain who locked up Smiles, dead on the floor, to an open cell where Smiles should have been. Statements taken, the guards put on higher alert, the party is left to go about their business. The party is introduced to bounties, new listings unlocked by story progression, go figure that one, to bounty hunt Smiles. They'll then make note to check the bounties. Upon investigating the door, they reach the assumption that she must have stole the keys, and that's how she got out. From here, the party takes watch as they sleep the night away. The next day was filled with information gathering as one part of the group went to the guild to find out about the bounties. Another part of the group went to talk to Rissa to verify her dealings. Soon after, Leo gets a bead with the locate object concentrating on the keys of the guards. The party is led to a house and they make their way into a fallen guard's house. I know I'm kind of skipping a little here, but pretty much at the end you kind of ran into that fallen guard's house, found a key, and then you went in. And upon entering the place, they found it turned, and anything of small value or something small that had value must look like it's been taken, like silverware, trinkets, and medals. Upstairs, the party finds that something magical is behind a locked bedroom door. Soon after getting inside, Oscar goes to identify what looks like a sheathed dagger on a belt. What is this dagger? We find out now. Okay, so Oscar, you just cast Identify, and your spell tells you you have found a dagger of ethereal, and this dagger has an ethereal feel to it when thrown. Or when it's thrown, it vanishes, only to reappear after it hits something. It acts as a +1 dagger. This dagger sometimes whispers ghostly sounds when unsheathed. And I will put that in your journal so you can look at that. There you go.
So, I'm assuming Zareth is in the room with me at this point?
Yeah, I think everybody was pretty much exploring this room while you went to do
they
this.
were I know some were looking at that other room over there. But I'm going to relay exactly that to Zereth.
Alright, Zareth, he's kind of informed you about this ethereal dagger.
I draw the dagger and listen to the blade. I sheath it. And now I hold it at arm's length and draw it again.
You draw it or throw it?
Draw.
Okay.
Do you guys hear this?
If they're close as you are, they can hear it.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I try the dagger in the wardrobe.
You see this dagger just leave his hands, but it's nowhere flying in the air. You don't see it at all as it's flying through the air. And then all of a sudden you hear a... Roll me an attack roll real quick. You hear a loud as it slams into the top part of this wardrobe and cuts halfway into it and sticks right there. Like it disappeared as soon as he threw it, then it popped back into existence as soon as you hear that tearing sound as it hit into the wood.
Was it instantaneous?
No, it still felt like it. It still felt like it had to travel through the air. From what Oscar was able to ascertain, this dagger travels through the ethereal plane when thrown. And then when it lands...
So, Oscar, how does it come back?
I assume you have to think of the target when you throw it, and when it reaches said target, it returns to the material plane.
Nope. Basically, this dagger lands when it makes contact with something that where it should be, it rematerializes, which means at that point you have to walk over and just grab the dagger. It's not a returning dagger, it just travels through the ethereal plane when it's in projection. So whenever it finally lands on a physical object, either in the ethereal plane or material plane, it finally reappears in material plane and makes its impact.
Oh, okay. See, I was thinking you like throw it at a wall and it bypasses the wall and hits whatever's on the other side.
That's what I thought as well.
No, it just disappears from your hand as soon as you let go of it and throw it, and then while it's traveling, it'll be in the ethereal plane, but then whenever it makes contact with something that should be physical in the material plane, it'll rematerialize. So
Okay, so it's in both planes pretty much when you throw it.
right.
The Schrodinger's dagger, where's it gonna land?
Yeah. So it could be a fun little toy for you, who knows.
So if you hit something in the ethereal plane, would it stay in the ethereal plane?
Good question. Would you like to find out?
Yes.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to...
Not now.
Just saying, you're gonna have to see something in the ethereal plane in order to make it happen. I mean, you don't know. You might accidentally hit something. Oop, test and error. Test and error. We'll find out.
I walk back to the dagger, grab it, sheath it, just put it in my backpack for now.
All right. But yeah, you guys.
What else are we going to look for?
Say again, in Sidaria?
What else are we going to look for, guys? Or do you think that's all we're doing?
The ownership papers of the house. If Smiles was here, she might have taken them to sell it for some coin on the road.
Sure.
I'll make an investigation
Yeah.
check.
Or if they were in this room, then she wouldn't be able to find it. Not going to start looking for them in this room.
Anybody else want to investigate?
Yeah.
I could try.
So you're all kind of digging through this room, trying to figure out what else is in here. Focusing on like paperwork, I'm assuming. Just glancing around, you see certificates of like his enrollment into like the military and his training documents, and basically military paperwork that he usually has hidden away in some files and whatnot. There's some work that he's brought home, like case studies that he's been doing. You find a file that looks like it's been, ruffled through quite a bit, but it's not exactly what you're looking for. But if you wanted to acquire further, we can. But looking through, you don't seem to find like anything in this room that would have like deeds or anything in it.
Going to look at that paper.
As you look through the files in this paper, you find out that it constantly talks about in the recent month and a half probably, of the random murders that have been happening out on the streets. And there's like one name in particular, a female named Ruth.
What was the female name?
Ruth, Ruth. And it just seems like it's been signified by this drawing of lines and then a bunch of etching that's around it, like he's just scribbling away at nearby it. Matter of fact, as you're kind of looking at these files, you can glance up and see like a portrait of sorts of the former guard and a woman.
Is there anything on the back?
Are you looking at the back of the portrait now?
Yeah.
Commissioned to Sergeant Reynolds and Ruth.
So she was her wife, his wife? Or maybe she was killed during one of the incidences?
Likely, yeah.
Probably.
Anything else you guys want to do here?
Is there any food?
Not in this room. I want to go to the storage room and search for the ownership papers there.
Definitely no food in this room.
No, the
Doing
ownership papers of the house.
Say, Borden, what'd you want?
I do want to ask. You mentioned that from some of my interactions with it, it was personal to him. Did I see him with a wedding band, either on a necklace, like around his neck or on his hand?
We never really touched on it. But if you're trying to think back, if he was having a wedding band on his ring, you can. Yeah, Lord, I'm getting hoarse already thinking. Make a straight intelligence check to see if you were paying attention to that. It's basically testing your memory.
Well, this is gonna go well.
I mean, someone like that probably doesn't stay single. But then again, when you met him, you really weren't really paying attention to him. Just the attitude he was kind of either giving you or whatnot. You can't remember right offhand if you had a wedding band on or not. Matter of fact, I'll allow... Leo, if you want to make an intelligence check as well.
This will go well.
Oh dang, it went well.
Oh, wow.
And that 20, I mean, it's still a -1 mod, but...
Yeah, so... You don't know why you remember? But when you first met him, you think you saw a wedding band? You know that whenever you saw his corpse, though, and you guys had a chance to actually look at it, there was that faded spot around his left finger. His left ring finger.
Leo's hungry. He's looking for food.
Yeah, so you don't have to share that, but you kind of make note of it. But, yeah, anything up here? Sarah said he was looking through the storage closet across the hallway. I think we flipped that place once, and he said he.
Yes, but now I'm specifically looking for paperwork there for the
Hmm.
ownership papers.
Yeah, you're not gonna find anything in there. I mean, you could shuffle in there for an hour, even take a 20, you'd still wouldn't find them there. Either they're somewhere
Okay.
else in the house, or they're just somewhere else entirely.
On a whim, I'm gonna start knocking on walls, listening for hollow spaces.
Mm,
Because if an entire room was missed, it's not too far of a stretch to believe that a wall safe or a cubby hole would have been missed.
go ahead and make an investigation.
We go
I
about
help
the
him
house.
with that.
Alright, so go ahead and make it with advantage. Yeah, there was a no. But
Knocking on the wall, my hand goes through the wall at one point, apparently, with that sound.
yeah. As you're beating down the hall, because the hallway kind of stretched for no reason at all. Like, you assume the bedroom like went so far, and maybe the next part of this section that's there is like closet space, but it seems to extend just a little bit beyond that. And as soon as you make a tap near the far end of the hall, you kind of hear the hollow within.
I start looking for switches to open.
Give me an investigation check. You kind of pat down the wall. I mean, you're familiar with this kind of stuff, but this must be new state-of-the-art equipment or something. It's kind of hidden from you.
You mentioned the closet. We're in the hallway now. Can I go ahead and start checking out that closet then?
Yeah, sure, by all means. As you pull back some military wardrobe, some formal clothes that he has hanging there in the closet, and a few shoes and whatnot, you see looks like a different type of wood paneling. Like, it does not match what's on the right and left of it.
I'll start poking and prodding at it, seeing if I can get it to wiggle or move if it slides.
It's like kind of like thatch in a way, like a yellow line of thatch. It's just kind of like a, like a roll-up type curtain that just kind of drops down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that to you as you're playing with it. You think if you grabbed it from the bottom, you might be able to lift it straight up.
What the hell?
You lift it up, and before you, you see a strange metallic door just kind of embedded there in the closet space.
I'll yell out to the hallway we're in Ozera set.
Alright.
Got a door here.
And you're over there constantly looking at this wall, and then you hear that.
Okay, come in.
I'll go in with him.
Alright, so
I'm
sit
going
down.
to go back to the staircase.
Okay.
I'm in the kitchen.
Alright, Leo, you find that this kitchen's been ransacked. I mean, there's a couple potatoes laying around, maybe an egg, but for the most part, all of its meats and dry goods, gone. Either he was running out of food stock, or somebody ransacked this kitchen before you got here. That sly devil, huh?
Going
Meanwhile,
to go lock both doors.
so what are we doing upstairs with the metallic door?
Check it for traps.
That is a great idea. Let's get an investigation.
And I'll help him with that action.
Natural 20.
Well, about time. Jeez. You find that as you're looking at the keyhole, you realize that without the key, you would have activated a trap, so you're going to have to use your thieves tool to deactivate it. Looks like there's some kind of sprout inside the keyhole. Or spout, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
I'm going to attempt to deactivate the trap then.
Do you guys want to stay up close, or do you want to back up?
I'm sitting right there with a sort of bemused smirk on my face. You know, no wonder he couldn't find the door in the hall. It's right here.
I'm just slightly behind them, since there's probably not enough room for me to go in there with them.
Alright, so with that, you wedge your thieves tool in there. You kind of tap around. You're moving away some of this hose that's kind of sticking out with the spout. And then you find out that there's like a little fluid thing that pops to one of your or your thieves tool touches and kind of disarms it. And with that, you disarmed this trap and made it useless.
Great. I'm now going to try and pick the door.
Alright, go ahead and make me another one.
Natural 1.
Jesus Christ.
Not there
Double
yet.
natural one.
So you fiddle with it. Your thieves tool. Let me roll severity. It's only fair.
That's double that one, so, oh man.
Yeah,
Yes.
I rolled low, so you're in good shape. Or are you? High is good, low is bad. Alright, yeah. So, yeah, this tumbler just kind of bends one of your thieves' tools, and now you're at a -1 for any further attempts.
Isn't that why he got the steel set, though? So,
Oh wait,
Less than
was there a? Did I give you a description that said that it prevents any breakages?
Yeah, I believe you did.
Yeah, you did.
First
You said if
turn.
I took the steel ones, then I could roll a number of natural ones
Oh,
before
okay,
I
yeah.
started breaking shit.
All right, so you feel like a durability of this pick has been ticked off, and with that, I will make a new sheet for myself. Actually, I should just write it in Notepad and transfer it later. All right.
You can do this, Zareth. Come on, I believe in you.
Alright.
Try to help him, I guess.
So,
where's the bard when you need him, huh?
Sorry, get used to being the bard. Give me the inspiration.
So,
yeah,
can I re-roll?
you can re-roll DC's going up, but go ahead and make your second attempt.
15.
You fiddle with it for a while, and still, it's just that one tumbler is just not flicking right as you kind of twist and turn inside there. I mean, whatever's inside here, it's got to be valuable, because this is one tough-ass cookie. If you're going to make another attempt, it will go up a little bit more.
Warden, do you have guidance?
Do I have guidance?
It's a cantrip.
The answer is no.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Meanwhile,
Maybe?
Meanwhile, downstairs, Leo, you happen to notice a couple of rats running through this kitchen now. Not the only meat you could see. Kind of disappointing.
I am very disappointed. I guess I'll start cleaning up the food.
Alright. And if you're really dead on, you taking what's left in this place. You find about 2 potatoes, 3 carrots, and 1 egg.
Make a nice stew with this.
Yeah, probably good. So with that, we come back upstairs again. Oscar, are you doing anything while in the hallway?
I'm blocking the doors downstairs, that way someone doesn't just pop in.
Alright, so if you want to make another Thieves' Tool attempt, this time the DC has adjusted just a little bit further.
Yes.
Why don't one of you guys help him out?
I don't think we
Yeah,
can
that's what
help
we
with
did.
these tools, for one. And two, whoever said bless. Bless doesn't work on skill checks. That's saving throws or attack rolls.
Yeah, that's why I said guidance. Guidance does skill checks.
Yeah, so, without any
Okay,
extra
well-
help, you're just going to have to roll high.
23.
That one tumbler that's been giving you a bit of a fit, making you look bad in front of everybody, you're just feeling like, I gotta get this damn thing open. You flick in there again. Flick across that tumbler, and this time it just rolls out of the way. It must have been stuck by rust or something. Nobody's been in this room for a while. You finally managed to wiggle it free. And with that, you hear as the door becomes unlocked.
There it is.
Yeah.
I carefully open the door.
It's pitch black in here. But if I'm not mistaken, everybody
I
has
cast
dark.
light.
That'll work. You see what looks like a minor study of sorts? There's a table next to a chair with like a file cabinet sort, like going off the bottom part of this desk. So like if you were to pull open a drawer, you'd see some files.
I check the desk for traps.
Good idea. Roll me an investigation.
40.
You scan it over and under and check every nook and cranny that you could think of, and you're looking at it. Doesn't appear to be trapped.
Well, I don't spot any traps. Are there any papers on the top of the desk?
You see a few papers on the desk. Like drawings and doodles, pretty much. This might be like somewhere where he kind of spent his time doing hobby work, whatever. Or, you know, just... let's see what else is on here. You can kind of see like a pair of engraved bone dice just kind of sitting on one corner of the table.
Can I investigate that?
Sure. It's
Something ain't right here.
it's a pair of dice. It must be possessed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's made out of bone. What does that make you feel? Like this could be human
That makes
bone.
me feel
What
this
if
isn't
it's-
right. This,
Or what if it's?
If it makes you feel like Cloak of Flies, I'm punching you in the mouth.
Or it
No,
could
no.
be dragon bone.
oh no. These dragon bones are cursed. Say,
Well, let's
and I
not touch them.
walk
then.
away.
You see, also a copper chalice with silver filigree off to another side of the desk, and there's a golden locket with a painted portrait inside. Just kind of sitting there on the desk as well, with the papers
Is-
sitting
is-
shuffled there.
This portrait of the same woman we saw.
Yes, it
And
looks
the
very
other one?
similar. Seems very similar to the root painting that you saw. Not as stylish or as artistic. It's like he might have been a beginner trying to learn how to draw and whatnot.
So you said you mentioned it was a study. Bookshelves around of any kind?
A minor, small bookshelf. Like it's got like one row of books sitting on this bookcase behind the desk. So like if you turn around from the desk itself, you can pull off a book if you needed it. There's about 6 or 7 books on this shelf.
Did any of these books have a title worth looking at?
Let's see here.
Good idea. We can take them all home, then at least we have something in ours.
There's a
I
book
wouldn't
in
go
here.
that far.
There's a few books here. There's a... Not even sure, but these might even be books you already have. There's a book about Jubilee Day. There's a book about the After Rebirth. Another book about a doll maker. And the others seem like manuals for military training. Not like a manual that actually gives you buffs or anything, but like tells you how to behave.
Like
as
the
a-
drill manual.
Yeah, like a drill manual that you would get like if you were in the military. Big old white book filled with pages.
So I'm not for it's not grave robbing, but the man's dead and this is his house, so I'm not going to be lifting all the books.
Alright.
Just wanted to make sure I gave at least that a once over. See if you had a diary or a journal sitting in there.
Not in that, no.
I'm going to open the drawers of the desk.
You find that they are locked. But you, being a master rogue, should be able to unpick these pretty easy.
Yeah, with my first roll, so I'm just going to try and unlock them.
Go right ahead.
Well, checking, but first I'm going to check the locks for traps.
No, I think you already did the once over on the drawers. It's part of the desk.
Okay.
So you're convinced it's not trapped.
18.
It's a very simple lock. You could even done it with paperclip, but it just turns to your ever ease fingers finally. Yeah, and the drawer just kind of popped out with that noise. You can see, like, are you opening it?
Yes, I am.
Alright, so you pull the drawer open, and inside you can find a few random items laid inside. There's 2 potions that are just kind of like in the back, being held in. There's 2 small mirrors set in painted wooden frame. And then there's a lockbox. This lockbox is like maybe about 4 or 5 inches tall, about a foot wide, half a foot. Kind of like it's made to be about the size of a document, but giving it about 4 or 5 inches off the ground.
Call the man paranoid with all these locks, but it seems it was justified being killed.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Is the lockbox secured to the drawer?
It's got like a handle on top of it, so no, you can pull it out.
I'm going to check the inside of that drawer for traps.
Make me an investigation. That's an
23.
intimidation. The drawer is scared shitless of you, but it seems unfazed.
Lovely.
Now you want to try the other one?
It was a mimic.
As far as you know,
He's got a worse modifier, but a better roll.
yeah, as
I
far as
love
you
it.
know, this thing's not trapped. So,
Okay, I'm going to lift the lockbox out of the drawer.
as you lift the lockbox out of the drawer, you hear as you move it out of the drawer, and it beats up against the wooden parts of the drawer. It comes out safe.
I'm placed it on top of the desk.
Alright, you move the papers aside, make room, set it down. It's there in
And
front
I'm
of you.
going to try and unlock it.
Alright, so you're just having a field day today. All these locks for one rogue.
Yeah, lovely.
Not bad. You've managed to wiggle around, and this seemed like the door, like it was really tough, but you kind of got it down packed now. And you slip in there, you find that tumbler, and open it is. And you're free to open the lockbox.
I'm going to lift it carefully and check for traps mechanisms that could create fire to light up the documents
Ooh,
if it
good
is
idea.
not
Make
open correctly.
Make an investigation. Roll me that natural one. Oh. You kind of scan around the edges as you're kind of pulling it open. You notice there's like a slight string that's attached. I'm not sure if it's a lock mechanism, like part of a trap or not, but it seems to be entwined with something inside there. Could be possibly what you suspect.
I'm going to disable it.
Alright, go ahead, roll me thieves tool. With that, you kind of slide one of the sharp ends of the pick, just kind of snap it down and tear the rope, and then you're convinced that this will prevent that rope being pulled to activate whatever's inside.
Okay, I'm going to open the lockbox.
As you open it, you see the rope go underneath a pile of papers. And inside this lockbox, you do see the deeds to the house. Bank account books. And a small pile of gold.
Jackpot. You guys think we can use the second house?
I think we have no legal recourse taking the deeds for a house.
The answer no, it is then.
So,
I take the gold.
alright. You have this big bag of gold that was placed in here. You think it's 1,400 gold pieces.
I hand that to Borden.
So keep this in a running tab for the house still.
We could rent it out to someone, make some invested income.
We don't own the house. The man could have a will.
Good point.
Yeah, and if there was a will, it probably wouldn't be in the house. It'd probably be at some lawyer or whatnot.
I would figure he would keep a copy of his own will.
Maybe.
Well, he has no wife anymore, most
Just
likely.
because he doesn't have a wife anymore doesn't mean he doesn't have kids.
Make an investigation check as you shuffle through these papers. We'll see if there's one in there. Whoever wants to make it, only one
Natural
person.
one.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. He
Click on
already-
the draw there, beating me out.
Yeah, only one check, and he ruled that there's nothing in there. But you do have the deeds to this house.
I'm thinking we take the entire lockbox as is, contents and all.
Yep.
And obviously we're not going to try to use the documents. But if we can find a lawyer or a note, who manages his assets.
Mm-hmm. So we're just taking the lockbox full of papers, and
Yes.
you got the gold.
Yeah, lock, stock, and barrel. Just
Yeah,
the whole
alright.
box.
Are you doing anything else in this room?
Are there any more drawers in the desk?
No. Like, it pulled out as one giant drawer. And it kind of gave room for those 2 bottles in the back and a small pile that was next to the lockbox.
I'm going to take the 2 bottles, those potion bottles, out.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what they are, so I'm going to keep them handy until I see Oscar. And is
Cool.
there anything interesting about those mirror sets?
They might fetch a little bit of gold, like value-wise.
How big is one of those mirrors?
Like handheld size.
I take both and pocket them.
Okay.
Is it okay if I have one, may I ask?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay,
I
thank
hand
you
them
very much.
one of the mirror sets.
Alright.
I think that's it.
So is there anything else in this room of note? I mean, there was the desk and the small bookshelf. And then anything on top of the desk. I know the dice were mentioned.
And a chalice.
Yeah, and a
with
chalice.
silver lining.
And chalice.
Like basically all these items that you see on the desk and the mirrors. If you would be so kind, put 25 gold value piece on it. So if it ever gets sold, you'll know what its initial value is.
The chalice with silver, I guess, trimmings.
Yeah. One of those potions is orange liquid that flickers, and smoke fills the top of the container and wafts out whenever it's open. These potions aren't in the compendium, so I have to kind of look them up real quick.
So off we go.
We have some time. We're not at Oscar yet.
And
I'm
this
thinking
one,
we lock everything up on our way out.
Yes, we are.
the other potion in your hand is the red in the potion liquid continuously expands from a tiny bead to a color that is clear liquid inside it, and it then contracts. Shaking the bottle fails to interrupt this process.
If I wanted to put that over a light source, could I almost call it a lava lamp?
Sure.
Since it has a small red, blob that changes color and shape.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll cast light on the bottle itself.
I was kidding, guys. Making a funny here.
Oh,
Those
already
things
died.
were awesome.
No, that one actually is in the compendium. Alright.
But everything in the room is big now.
Everything.
Like we took everything that is interesting.
Yeah, there's nothing, like, unless you want any of those books. I mean, there's really nothing else here except for those half-ass drawn paint or portraits, some charcoal pencils.
So I'm
There's-
leaving the man's portrait of his wife in a necklace.
Yeah, a necklace.
I don't know
there.
about the rest.
There's like a candle that's been used to light the room whenever you guys aren't here. Like that's what he used to light it. But
Hey.
other than that, yeah.
How long has it been since I went downstairs and locked the doors?
They've been doing
They're
this for
still
about
out there, I'm
it's
like,
been about 20
I'm
minutes
gonna
of
come
them
back up.
searching. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would have come back.
Yeah. So you're back up there by now. Like nothing of interest happened. I would say you were there the whole time. Like you went down there, locked the doors, came back up. Yeah.
So looking at the door that was open, what is it? Like out of
The
metal
room
is all.
the room they're in. Yeah, it's like a metallic door. Like maybe it was lead base.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
You detect the 2 vials. But other than that, nothing else catches your eye.
I hand Oscar those 2 vials.
Is it an Arcana check?
You can do an Arcana check unless you want to do a straight identify.
I'd like to see if I can instantly do it if possible.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me 2 Arcanas. See what the first one is. It eludes you. But the lava lamp reminds you of a potion of growth. When you drank this potion, you gain the enlarge effect of an enlarge reduce spell for 1d4 hours, no concentration required. The red in this potion liquid continuously expands from a tiny bead to the color of clear liquid around it as it contracts, much like a lava lamp.
Okay, if I have that one.
Pour it in an enchanted bottle that gives off light and put it in the display case.
There's no display case in here, just a desk and a...
No,
we have
no.
one at our house.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. That'd be an interesting piece, I guess. But the other bottle you probably have to identify in order to figure out what
Yeah,
it is.
I'm going to hold on to that and do that at a later time when we
Yeah,
aren't
so
really
you
doing
instantly identify the potion of growth, but the second one just kind of eludes you.
Well, I think that's everything that we're going to find here. We better get out.
Lock up
Yep.
as best we can.
And as you are, so everybody's heading out of the house at this point, right?
Yep.
Front or back?
Yeah,
Well, I'm
so
heading
I'm
out of that
going
room.
to-
I don't know if we're done downstairs.
Okay.
I'm going to try and lock the door again
All right.
to the hidden room.
I mean, there's a lock latch on the other side that you can lock it and then pull the door closed. And the tumbler should go back into place.
Okay, lovely. And restore the wardrobe to...
Yeah,
Not
drop the
moving.
thatch roll,
Alright.
whatever you described it as.
Yeah, that sounds legit. Thatch roll. It's like a roll of this thatch-like material. Just kind of hiding that door behind there. So, we're out of that room now. We got it all closed up and blocked off again. You got this closet that you're standing in filled with clothes from the man who died. You're in his bedroom now, and you've discovered the knife earlier, or the dagger. Anything else you want to do in this room, or what's the plan?
If we're all wrapped up upstairs, I think downstairs, look for a basement, if there is one.
Yeah, and when we're leaving the room, I'm going to try and lock back this door back up again
Alright.
as well.
And that's easy enough for you to do. So you relock the bedroom. You guys make your way downstairs. And we're searching for a basement now, right?
If it exists, like if there's no trapdoor, or,
I would say
second stairwell.
the way this place has been overturned, seeing an obvious trapdoor would be kind of hard, but I'll let you pick somebody to roll the investigation check, and I'll allow you to aid for advantage. So who's going to make it and who's going to help?
I'm going to help. I'm not going to risk a roll on this.
So who
I
wants
mean,
to
I'll
make
go ahead and make it then.
Alright, so roll with advantage as you and Zareth both kind of go exploring down here in the rooms, going in and out, trying to figure out where this is. You get to the kitchen, you find a trap door kind of close to the entranceway of the kitchen.
Leo's in there just chewing on some carrots.
Yeah, see Leo there. But yeah, there's a trap door that's just kind of right off to the side, close to the wall that leads into the hallway that leads towards the exit to the back door.
I say offhandedly, is this similar to the design? I believe, or no, wait, that's the Wednesday campaign, isn't it?
Yeah, and I can definitely see where you're going with that. Yeah, this is probably a hidden pantry.
I checked the door for traps.
Make an investigation. Let's get them bad rolls out now. Good job. Bad rolls done. You don't think it's trapped.
Is it locked?
Does it feel locked? You think you can tug it open? It's got like a rope tied to the wood board. And it doesn't look like any... Like, it doesn't look like a door that's made to be reinforced or hide anything.
Do I hear any movement from downstairs?
Other than your friends who are making a bunch of noise, no.
Okay, I'm going to open that thing up then.
As you open it up, need you to make a deck save. No, just kidding. It is dark down there, but as you kind of glance in and get a better view, you see a small little ladder lead down about 4 or 5 feet. This is not very tall, but you see sacks of potatoes on one side, grains on another. There's like one keg that's off in the back room, or back part of the room. But other than that, you don't see much else here.
Are there any apples?
No apples.
Okay, well, nothing down here but food. We can take some for back home, but that's about the only thing.
Food? Is there meat?
Didn't see any.
I didn't see any. Some grain and potatoes, and a keg of what I presume some kind of liquor, but nothing more than that.
Well, we could take the keg.
I mean, it's a big barrel filled. Weighs probably quite a bit.
Can't we just put it into the bag of holding?
If you have 100
Would it
pounds
fit?
of space to put it in there, yeah.
Leo's not going to let that happen since he's carrying the bag.
Yeah, and on top of that, keep in mind it might need oxygen to stay stagnant. I mean, it's whatever.
Does it? It's sealed, yeah?
Oh, it's a wooden thing. It allows the wine to breathe. I mean, it's not sealed like a fucking coffin or anything. What do you
I'm
want
going to draw a sword,
Uh-huh.
and with my short sword, I'm going to poke the. I'm going to poke the lid off.
Make a strength check. Athletics. You have a little bit of trouble trying to do it. You wedge your blade under and you're trying to pry down, but your frame's just not strong enough to pop that lid right off. You might
I'm
hear-
going to use my crowbar.
Okay, I'll give you advantage. As you slide a proper tool in there.
Done!
But
Woo!
much to no avail. You still couldn't get the damn thing open. Your half-elven arm seems not made for this kind of work.
Yeah,
Mitch,
just why are we trying to break into a wine barrel? Was it?
We could just take it. You don't need to open it. And can I
There's
roll
someone in
intelligence?
there. Who knows?
Can I roll intelligence to see if it does need to breathe?
Do you want the damn thing or not? Just get to the point.
I
guys.
want it. I want the thing,
Do you want to carry it out? I mean, that's the only thing I could see.
but I need to put it in the bag. Hold it. It'd be too conspicuous.
Well,
No, you're holding that if you're taking it out of here.
Is there? Do we have enough back
I'll tell you
alleys
what.
to actually walk?
Why don't you make an intelligence check and I'll determine what your intelligence actually says.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
moment when stars your brain be very afraid.
You ascertain that taking this out like this would be much strain not only to your own physical form, to get it out of the pantry itself, but carrying it down. I mean, more than likely it's cheap wine. You might as well just go to a tavern and order your own. Probably won't even cost that much.
Okay, fine. Then I'll break it open and have it try after I investigate it. Then.
Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and how are you prying this thing open?
Athletics, I guess.
There's a crowbar in it.
So you're gonna use the crowbar he used? I'll let you roll with it.
Yeah, I guess.
Go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do it by your. Or you got one
Oh,
more.
you
roll.
said advantage though?
Yep.
Oh, then. Forgot I have the advantage button. There we go.
All right, fair enough. So with that, you manage to pry down on it. Zerath kind of takes one end of the crowbar, and then finally, plump, this purplish, reddish tinted, oozing pile of goo or liquid. It's just kind of glistening there as it kind of rattles towards as the lid pops right off, and a strong, vagrant scent of fermented grapes hits your nostrils.
investigate it first to see if it's poisoned or not.
You're gonna take a test? Make
Yeah,
a
just
consti-
a little dab. Just a
make
little dab.
make a Constitution saving throw.
I was saying, oh,
Mm-hmm.
let me do that without advantage.
All right, first one.
It just runs the 11 without advantage.
Sorry,
You rolled.
I should just turn off toggle.
Just leave it on. I take the first number. It does not matter. I don't know why you guys fight with it. I mean, just the first number's going to count if you don't. It's easy. Just save yourself some trouble. That way you're always rolling with advantage or disadvantage. You don't have to think about it. But anyway, you take a sip of this, and it is strong. It is very potent. You'd think if you took another dab like you just did, you might actually knock your ass on the ground.
Okay, then I'll just take a vial, bottle it.
Alright, so put you a vial of very strong liquor. Grape flavored.
You want me to fill my water back as well for you?
If you want.
Are you an alcoholic?
You know, I kind of imagine Leo just kind of staring at the bags like, these guys are going to do strength checks. Yeah, I'll be over here. You let me know how that goes.
I mean, yeah.
that was my...
Leo just doesn't drink.
He's busy with
No,
a carrot.
but I'm just thinking, like, they could have asked the guy with the strength modifier to, hey, can you help? But they didn't even bother. I'm like, oh, okay. So I could just see
he's
Leo
busy with
just...
a
Yeah.
carrot.
I'm just getting stronger by eating carrots.
There you go.
See, and I'm sitting there looking at the alcohol. Like, do we really need to bother with this?
Yeah, because, you know, you don't...
Well, it's really strong, in my opinion. Though it might be a lightweight.
In many ways.
Either way, Leo, you want to pack the food here, or...
Nope, there's no meat side. We don't think we need that. I'll just go to the butcher later.
Spirit, do you want to ring in on any of this? I mean, apparently you haven't
Not
said much.
necessarily. Taking the food, it would, turn before anything happened to it. So, by all means, take it.
So that's his thought on it.
See, I'm just like, this is literally a headstone short of grave robbing.
Were you even in the ground on this one?
That is true.
No, exactly.
Well,
this is
you are
literally
now
just a
in the
headstone short of grave robbing.
Well, you are in the ground now, but the body never made it.
The body didn't make it, and there's no, epitaph. He died as he lives.
So, yeah, let's kind of round it out, guys. What do you want to do with this stuff? It's starting to get late, too, by the way. Anybody who's
Wasn't here, like, in midday?
I think you came in close towards the late afternoon hours.
It was about midday when the last session started, I
Was it?
thought.
Yeah, when it started.
It's definitely getting to the evening hours right now.
Yeah, you guys been goofing off in this house for a good hour and a half or so.
Okay, then... let's get out.
I'm going to kind of look a little bit out the window just to see.
Alright. Yeah, you could start to see the setting sun. It may have started at midday, however, the winter months are coming. So, yeah, the days are getting shorter. And, you see a bustling street that's just everyday people just going up and down. There are guards posted on every corner, as you kind of take note from the last time you guys were looking up the streets. But none of them seem to be paying you any mind. But they are stationed mostly in the front.
I'm going to flip up my Hood of Elvenkind,
Alright.
and I'm going at the back door and creak it open and see if there's anyone there.
Alright, make a perception check as you creak the door open.
Perception. There it is.
Surprise, motherfucker. No, just kidding. And an arrow shoots you in the head. No. The back alleys are abandoned. Quiet, even. I mean, there's still all that refuge that was back there to begin with.
I call out to the rest of the crew. It's like, the back alley is clear. I sneak out of the back alley and move towards the part where it's to the crossroads where it joins with the main street.
Right. What about the rest of you? What are you doing?
I could go the back way.
Just gonna go back, yeah.
So everybody's piling out?
Yeah.
So I'll probably be the last one out, trying to lock the door behind me.
Alright.
Unlock the front door, of course.
The front
Locked door was already locked.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
already
But
locked.
no.
Oscar took care of that.
I locked both the doors when y'all were upstairs.
So you all slip out the back. Borden manages to lock the back door behind him. You guys make it back out to the alleyway leading towards the main streets. And sure enough, you do see guards just kind of going up and down the sidewalk areas and just kind of keeping a close eye. Basically, you see them focusing in on people, trying to study faces and whatnot. And about that time, a couple of the guards kind of stare at your group that's coming out of the alleyway. What do you want to do?
Continue on,
Keep
money.
walking.
So you guys
Is
kinda-
one
So
pastry.
wait. We just barred out of the alleyways.
I'm walking out. Like, I'm going home.
I mean, we're just walking down the street at this point. It's not like we're,
I mean, they take note of you, is what I'm saying, as you kind of poke your heads out the alleyway and start going in your direction of heading home.
I mean, if they don't know who we are, they probably, their friends probably do at this point.
Yeah.
I give one pastry to the guard.
Oh, well, thank you.
No problem. Hope you enjoy. Have a nice night.
Oh, that's a relief. Hey, share that pastry with me, you asshole. God damn it, didn't you see that little girl gave me the Oh, hey, and he smiles, trying not to be his grit. See? Nice people. Make a persuasion with advantage as you're kind of like setting a mood here. Yeah, you got good favor with these two guards, and they're just thanking you and not even paying you and your group any further mind. So you guys are just free to go wherever you need to go.
Yeah. Off to home.
Your harlot's hit on every one of these guards.
And I'm just nice.
Yeah.
Half the battle is acting like you belong there. If you
Yeah,
look like you
absolutely.
belong, you don't get bothered.
Yeah, you guys are fine though. So, are we going all the way back home, or was there any plans to go somewhere else beforehand?
I mean,
what do you guys want?
she was making north, so north would be our next stop. But we're not in the north areas, are we?
Well, you're partway up north. Like, going further north and going westwardly would lead you to the noble districts and eventually to the castle itself. But if you were to, like, sketch along towards the northeast side of town, I mean, you would get into a higher merchant type area where, you know, they sell more expensive goods and it's all for, like, the noble to come in and buy. And then it would lead out into like the open range where there's probably some noble manors that are more proper and plantation like areas that are kind of more fielded out as you leave the city from the north. Oh, excuse me.
So there is no wall or gate that you have to pass through?
Yeah, there's a gate, but like once you leave, you're running into like other manors and plantation like locations afterwards until it kind of thins out, and then the rest of the land kind of bleeds into like normal forests, normal grasslands. So like civilization for quite a while where nobles kind of take up the land and do what they want with it. I mean, right now
So-
you're all on foot, so I mean, what do you want to do?
So I'm gonna pass out the rest of the baked goods because they're gonna spoil probably by the next day to anybody that's around.
Alright.
So I'm
Sorry.
just gonna get rid of that from my inventory.
That's fine. Did you want to, like, use your persuasion here to aspartame anything, or is it just goodwill, or?
Goodwill,
Alright.
good in nature.
I'm going to take some of that as dinner.
Yeah, that's two.
Alright. So your goodwill is noted amongst the common folk who are kind of roaming around here. What's the outline here? What are we looking to do?
Well, you said it was late. I thought we were just gonna go home and
Well,
rest.
I mean, you've got a lot of things on your plate. You can either go
If we
home.
do that, Smiles gets a bigger head start.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing here. Like, everybody wants to kind of stop Smiles from getting wherever it is she's trying to get.
I would
So-
think head toward the gate.
Well, I'm more inclined to check out the east part of town. There's a smugglers group there.
Split the party?
Sorry?
Split the party?
Go to the smugglers. That sounds better than the gate.
So she might have.
Didn't you already try the smugglers?
No, that was just general information. There is a place being ransacked by something. By the way, would I actually remember if they're there?
Were they engraved in your group?
No.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Damn it. I never can find those things. 14.
You don't remember. I mean, you've heard of them, but then again, the location's been erased from your mind. So as you're talking about it, all of a sudden your fingers come up to your forehead like a headache just came over, and you're like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. So you all kind of see him have this slight ping as he mentions the smuggler group.
The problem is, though, is that I can't seem to point out where their front is. And considering that most of the information brokers are off the street at the moment, that's going to give us problems.
is your head hurting? Would a lesser restoration help?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's try it.
Well, I guess I would.
You could always cast Locate Object on the rest of the keys. May not lead us to her, but at least it would lead us to the rest of the keys.
Well, we can try that in the east then.
You feel your ears get a little undeafened, like if you had like to pop your ears, that sudden loudness is there again. But other than that, nothing really comes with the lesser restoration.
Oh, well, worth a try.
Well, my headache is gone and my ears stopped, but besides that, I think it did the job.
No problem.
Thank you.
Alright, so what's the general direction that your group's heading in right now? Are we going north? Or are we going to go back south towards where the house is? Or, I mean, I just kind of want to know where we're walking.
I believe we were going to try to find her, but I don't know where.
That's the idea.
that is.
I need a name. I need a name. I need to know which way we're walking.
Let's go east and then try the locate object on the keys.
Alright.
But
you-
didn't the God message say north?
I mean, it's up to
Yes.
you guys. I just need to know what we're doing so I can give you direction on what's happening. So confirm to me, as a group, as you're walking away from the place you just helped ransack even further. What direction would you like to go? Northeast, southwest?
I would like to go north.
Borden?
I would say east.
Why not northeast?
Northeast. Borden, what do you want?
He's currently
I'm willing to give Zareth the benefit of the doubt there, see if he can't at least find anything in the east. For the shot.
Alright, so Leo's on be right back, so we'll give him time to come back. But otherwise, you guys start traveling east. What is everybody's passive perception? Okay,
So passive's 19.
alright. That's a little high.
121 passive
Yeah.
perception. You can see
no,
a ghost.
no, sorry.
You can see into the ethereal plane, into the astral, beyond the abyssal, and right into the ninth gate of hell. Asmodeus says, "Get the fuck out of my bathroom."
The ever watchful eye of Sauron has implanted itself.
What are you doing here? Get out.
I burn. Alright, so trying to figure out here how this should go. I mean, you're wandering around aimlessly at this point. You're kind of going east, and on Zara's hunch, you're thinking he might know something over here. However, that headache earlier kind of indicated that he might not know exactly where in this direction. Still the finer side of town, since you're still kind of north. And then you find yourself as far east as you can go as you're kind of lining up against the eastern wall. And the only direction you can go from here is north and south. But like the back of the businesses, well, actually no, they probably still have a front that goes facing the wall. But a lot of the businesses here are like very minute type things, like a small lumber yard that is functioning here. Going further south of that, you can see like a knick-knack shop of sorts. Flower shops. There's some like eatery stalls here, like myth kebabs or stuff like that that you can buy from vendors.
Any signs in Thieves' Chant?
Make an investigation with disadvantage.
23.
Not bad. But as you're looking, don't see any obvious signs, but I will keep your check in mind as you're kind of traveling along here. So which way do you guys want to go? Now that I know you're actively looking for thieves' camp.
North. So
Then let's push north.
You're pushing north now, going past the lumber. Various shops. There's a jeweler up here at the corner before it turns west again, leading towards where the northern gate might be leaded out. Traveling, like you reached the end of the town, traveling west now. It's starting to get really late here. It probably took you about another hour traveling this far and getting up to here as you're passing all these random shops and whatnot, random hovels for housing and everything in between. You do see an inn as you kind of reach the road leading inward from the north. The inn seems to be bustling with night activity right now, as you can see traffic coming in and out of town. There are several guards lining the streets. So, like, you're looking for thieves' camp, trying to figure out if there's anyone here of roguish, knowledge that you could rely upon. And with the posting of all these guards, once again, you're kind of filled with the idea that they took down their signs. They kind of, like, you've seen places where you might have seen etching, but it looks like it's been covered up to, lower suspicion, make it look like nobody's been here. Everything's been kind of covered up, but you don't see any direct inkling of a thieves' camp, rogues, any associations of the underground. as a tighter guardship seems to be present in the city now. But now you find yourself in front of this inn/tavern.
Shouldn't we cast like detect object, try and find?
Well, Leo is the one that usually does it. What do you want to do? Because Leo's still on BRB, it looks like.
I'm back now.
Okay, welcome back. So, yeah, you guys kind of followed east. You went north from there as you hit the wall, and now you're coming back west as you're leading out towards the north gate. There's a road going north and south here, of course, and there's like a fancy inn tavern that's right there to your left before you can walk straight out the town if you wanted to. What do you guys want to do?
I'm asking Leo to do detect object on Smiles person.
Wouldn't he have done that as soon as we stopped moving west?
Well, he wasn't here to say anything, and you guys never suggested it to somebody else who could cast it as well.
I didn't know who else could cast it.
I don't think
I can cast it.
I don't think Borden saw the keys.
We both did.
Yeah,
I think everybody did who was in there watching the guy lock her up.
yeah. So it just comes down to, like, Leo's been doing it actively. Borden's been just kind of conserving in case he needs to use it for something else.
Something else, or if he runs out, or
I mean, that's my assumption. You can be specific, yeah. But, do you want to start casting Detect Magic or Locate Object? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Alright, draw me the card again so I can see the range.
Is it like 1,000 feet?
Perfect. For about
like,
900 feet north on the road leading out. Get a bleep.
It's north.
And it's starting to move further north, and it's now about 950.
And it's moving.
Okay, we better hurry then.
That's
You guys grab me a horse. I track on foot. I'll stick to the road, and I just start triple dashing.
So what's everybody else doing? You heard him ask. What do you want to actually do, though?
I would assume there's a stable keeper near the northern gate.
At that fancy tavern inn, you think you saw a stable right across the road from it where they host all the guests that come in?
Is there anyone attending?
Would you like to go find out? I mean, you see it. Do you want to interact with it? It's up to you. Let's play
Yeah.
some D&D.
Yes.
Alright.
Leo's gonna cast Find Steed and summon his own steed, hop on it, and go after it.
Doesn't it take you at least a minute to cast? Post it. I think it's 10-minute cast regardless. Yep. 10-minute
10 minute.
casting time if you want to sit there and do that.
Then I'll just start running after it.
I'm gonna try to persuade someone to hand me a horse.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
Well, what do you say,
Yeah,
bud?
exactly. What are you saying?
Um,
You walk up to this gentleman who's dressed up in fine wardrobe. He's got these blue tunic, dressed in a noble's color that seems of a very high house in one of the northern lands, perhaps. And he's-
excuse me, good sir.
Yes.
There's a villain that's outside the encampment that is dashing away quickly. Is it okay if I borrow a horse? And
Well, then you better call the guards.
I just need to
did he
get the
just clap
villain.
his shotgun?
No, he just
Or did he
clobbered him.
scoff?
He just kind of scoffed him off and started. That was my.
Please, I
process.
need to catch her. She's a mass murderer. I just need to borrow the horse and then bring it back. Please, sir.
I'm going to give him like a +10 to his insight because he does not. 22. I am sorry, but this is my steed, and she will go right into the stable. Sir, take care of my horse. Make sure this harlot does not touch her at all. She seems very keen in causing trouble, so keep an eye on my horse, and I tip you well. And he tips the stable hand, and his horse gets pulled into the stable.
I thought I was talking to the stable hand.
No, I told you. You were trying to ask anybody. You didn't say the stable hand.
Oh, okay, then.
Watch
I'll
your
go to the
wording,
stable
because
hand.
that's what I'm assuming. Like, if you leave it open-ended, I'm going to pick anybody.
I'm going to get to the stable hand.
And you see this ragged human who's just now fixing to put this horse up into a stall, pocket some change. Can I help you?
Yes, I need to borrow 5 of your fastest horses.
5? God. By the gods, I don't have 5 to spare. I got maybe 2.
Do you,
That's good enough.
I mean,
2 can work.
yeah, okay, fine. That'll be 10 gold deposit for each, or 20 gold altogether. Like, each of them needs a separate deposit.
Okay, here's 20 gold.
Alright, and then
and-
he'll hand you, like, this is taking a little while, so he's going back there and he's pulling out these 2 horses, a black one and a white one, and he hands them off to you. Bring them back, and you'll get half your gold back.
Okay.
And you have secured horses. Meanwhile, Sarah, Leo, what is Borden doing?
That would have been going off with Leo, because if he loses the trail but I can catch her,
Right.
that means I can start the track.
So you and Leo are kind of paced, though you're kind of falling behind a little bit because you're what, 25 instead of 30? So Leo's a little bit ahead of you, and Zareth is like double dashed with his full, thieves ability, so he's like way ahead of you guys.
And I figure Leo and I are dashing, the 2 of them got horses, I'm falling behind a bit, but it's life.
As Zareth, you pull further and further ahead, you see this horse-drawn carriage with about 4 horses on it. It looks very gothic, very dark and black and mysterious. Red velvet curtains closing off on each side. And it seems to be stopped there as if something's going on. The driver's just kind of waiting for orders. But you come up across this, and Leo's about 100 feet behind you. What do you want to do?
I keep my distance and try to circle around, see what's going on.
Let me get a perception check from you. As you're kind of getting into the area and looking a little bit more carefully beyond this carriage, you notice there's about 4 horsemen riders behind it. Looks like they're waiting for something to happen as well. And they're just kind of there shooting the shit.
Can I hide in the tree lines besides the road,
Make a stealth check.
if there are any? And I flip up my Hood of Elvenkind.
Alright. That's survival. Try the other one.
God damn it.
That'll work. As far as you know, you think you're hidden. About this time, Leo, you kind of stumble across the same sight. You see this gothic-looking carriage with 4 horses. And the driver's just kind of sitting up there. He's got his lantern turned on as night is starting to encroach upon the area.
Is the blip somewhere in this mass?
You believe it might be actually inside that carriage.
It's coming from inside the carriage.
As you hear him say, Borden, as you catch up. About this time, the 2 with the horses trail up right behind, and they actually run into you guys.
So where's it?
I move
Like-
towards the...
Bodily into us or find us?
It, like, where
I don't think I'm going to run.
they could see you, they could stop in direct traffic here. I mean, you
What
want
does
to
it say?
I mean, if you want to trample them, just say the word. We could do the roll. I don't mind.
Well, you were the one talking about watch your wording, so I was making
No,
sure.
absolutely. I mean, seriously. I mean, there are certain things
I need to know if I
can
had to
assume.
make a deck save to jump out the way.
Well, you
Well,
weren't
it
the
could
one
be
that said
dependent
it.
on the animal handler.
Well, these are tamed riding horses, so I'm not going to say they need an animal handling yet. But if something violent happens, that might come into play. However, you kind of slow down to a trot and then stop next to Leo and Borden as you are rejoined. And you don't see Zareth anywhere, unless you want to make a perception check to see if you can see him.
I'm moving back to the group.
Oh, well.
We really gotta get like damn hand signs so we can communicate with Zareth while he's hidden, so he doesn't have to break stealth.
Just flip him off.
And I was thinking that sometimes, but I wasn't gonna say it.
Double birds, he'll get the message. But, no. You see Zareth slip out of the shadows and rejoin you guys as you're kind of staring at this scenario, this gothic carriage just kind of sitting there in the middle of the road. Well, not exactly on the middle. They're kind of pushed off to the left side of their left.
One
Yeah.
carriage, 4 riders, presumably escort. Is this what we're looking for, Leo?
The keys are inside that carriage.
Now,
Okay,
you guys are about 60 feet away from it at this point, so you can't quite hear anything. But depending upon how
I'm
you
gonna look
approach-
at these riders. Do they look like any kind of city guard?
They carry like a noble seal that you don't recognize. Even living in Timor, you don't recognize their seal that they're wearing on their leathers, and they look like they're in like either leather or breastplates.
Alrighty.
Do I recognize this seal?
Do not. Like, you never had any reason. I mean, if you want to make a history check at disadvantage.
So let me get this straight. They're on the.
Natural 1.
Yeah,
You know, shit.
you don't know shit about these guys. Go ahead,
They're
Oscar.
on the main road leading out of the city, right?
Well, they're looking like they're going towards the city. Like, this carriage was coming from the other direction, and they're facing towards you.
So they're coming directly at us right now.
Yeah.
The carriage as well?
Well, they stopped right there at the road, like something's going on, and they're just waiting for orders.
I like we're almost at a standoff right now.
Well,
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna start walking towards them. The hell with it.
Yeah.
Does anyone have that bounty paper handy?
Did I take one?
I believe Leo had it.
One.
Alright, so you're approaching as a group, or who's all going forward?
Leo will be walking forward.
And Syndra will walk forward.
I'm going to break off and hide in the shadows again,
Make a stealth check.
with my hood up.
Okay. Okay.
Good, I can still see you this time.
Yep.
Yay!
Alright.
If it turns into a shit fight and I pop my holy buzzsaw, it's gonna be a good thing I can see you.
Alright, so approaching the carriage, you see this gangly looking figure. It's got a hump back, squinty eyes, a spectacle on one eye as he kind of looks over the carriage. Eh, who goes there? Master, there's people out here. State your business before you come any closer. And these
Why are you stopped in the middle of the road? What seems to be the issue?
We're on the side of the road, and I'm waiting for my master to finish whatever he is doing. And you see the 4 horsemen that were behind the carriage kind of come around from the side and make their way to the front. You
We
can-
have reason to believe you're harboring a criminal.
Well, no way.
Straight into it.
Master, they're saying you're harboring a criminal. I don't understand what they're saying. You hear this deep, robust voice saying, "Tell them I will deal with them when the time comes. For now, I shall talk to this young lady." And then there's soft talk that's going on. So unless you make a listening check of sorts to hear exactly.
I will definitely be jumping on that perception.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Same here.
Me here.
This is not at advantage because it's not safe.
Alright. Alright, so.
I heard a mouse fart a field over, but what do I hear from the carriage?
He accidentally let one out too. No. Must be nervous with the woman, who knows. No, you hear this robust figure just kind of whispering sweet nothing into the ear of this lady. Like, it's kind of soft, but he's also making it intentionally known. And as you're listening, or to make a charisma saving throw? Let me check something. Just want to know what the basics is for this. No, it's wisdom. So give me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm supposed to be good at these. I am good at these.
Psych. You hear these words, and you being the keener listener of your companions, you're the only one that kind of took a hint of what's going on here. You feel like there's some kind of charm towards these words. It kind of whispered to you as well, but it did not take, and you resisted the effect of it. But it looked like it wasn't directed at you.
Is it important about the actual wording?
Like you hear the words of, and you will be mine, and we shall be one, and you will be everything that I need. Something along those lines.
Alright, creepy guy, check.
Almost like he's seducing a lover.
So wait, the wisdom save coming from the woman or the man?
The man.
Okay.
So when the guy popped his head out,
He did pop his head out.
like,
Yeah, he
or,
shouted
like,
from inside.
yeah. Is there any way that I could have seen in at all?
No, he didn't open the curtain or anything.
Okay.
So right now, all you're
I-
dealing with is this.
I want to sneak up to the back and peek in.
You see a red velvet curtain blocking your path from seeing any further in. And also, you see two of these guards break off and kind of corner into your direction, as you were not as stealthy as you thought you were.
I move back.
That one's dancing in the shadows, Master. Would you like for us to take care of him?
I move back and try to hide again.
Go ahead and make another stealth check, as they're keeping an eye on you. Disadvantage to a strength roll.
Oh, fuck, natural one.
Yeah. So, yeah. With
I'm
them,
hiding!
you practically trip
Like that?
over a stump, and you thought you were behind a tree, and you're like, oops.
You step on a bear.
It goes from bad to worse. Never mind, Master. He found a bear. We'll just let him deal with it. No. You pretty much fall over, stumble, trying to get into a bush, and then you wind up being more exposed than you were before. And they all kind of laugh at you. Look at him. He's just trying to get away. He's gonna piss his pants. That's enough, you guys. Be kind. After all, I'm pretty sure the citizenry of Timor does not need us to be ill-behaved. As you wish, Master.
So are you guys not from around here?
And the lurch that's on the front of the carriage kind of stares at you. Why, no, we're not.
Then wouldn't you know this woman's face? I pull out the wanted poster.
She seems very familiar.
Can I insight him?
Yeah. Seems trustworthy. As far as you could
Tell
tell,
me.
He'd probably make a good husband if it wasn't for that hump. Must give him bad back sprain, especially if somebody's
Could I
trying to
see
sprint him
his
from
face?
behind. Well, you can see that guy's face. Yeah, he's got squinted eyes, beady nose.
Then I
so-
try and insight check that comment as well then.
Well, your flat face on the ground. No, that's not going to work.
Okay, then I stand up. And move towards the group.
Alright, but yeah, you can't make any further insight on that from your angle. But,
And I
he's...
whisper to the...
You just admitted she seems familiar. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why are you looking for her?
She's killed many.
Oh, is that all she did?
Fortunately, she killed a few too many.
Oh, just a few too many. That's a pity. Did you hear that, Master? Well,
Let's
my,
kick the bucket.
well, my dear, I'm afraid I might have to go and take care of these for you. Are these the pesky ones you've been telling me about? That's the soft lull that you kind of catch there.
I'm gonna go to strike one of the wheels.
You're gonna do what?
Strike one of the wheels so it prevents them escaping.
Wait, I just went AFK for a second. What are we doing?
Oh my goodness.
There is a very bad
Shit's about to
decision
happen.
being made.
So,
There have been several bad decisions made in the past 2 minutes.
yeah, why did you leave now?
In like 10 seconds.
Doesn't take but one. Alright, so clarify to me what you're trying to do in Sidaria.
Well, it seems like he was about to attack us, so you
So, you want to...
want to break one of the wheels so then it prevents them trying to
So,
escape
what
the
are you
carriage.
doing to break the wheel?
Slash at it with my sword.
As you make an approach towards it, two of the guys jump down in front of you and stop your movements towards the wagon. It's enough of that nonsense. Now pike off or else you'll face the spear.
The only people facing a blade here is the one with a bounty on her head.
Yes, we don't want her to escape.
Again.
Most of me I haven't been able to see inside yet.
No one has.
I shall bear
The windows
upon
are
you
covered
my
with
gift,
red
my
velvet
beloved.
curtains.
And
I
then you
tried
can
that.
go crazy all you want. You hear a soft giggle inside the
There's
carriage.
10 walls.
Suddenly there's
Do I recognize the voice?
and then you hear
She's
a
in there.
you hear a like a stabbing noise of some sort against flesh. And a soft
We warned you.
Okay, so real quick. How did it, okay, so when you appear out of a dimension door, does the door have to, like, can you just pop in where?
you have to be
You
able
can
to see where you're
specify
going with
5
it.
feet. No, you don't.
Okay,
No, you have.
You can-
Well, you have to know where
Dimension
you're going.
door?
You do have to.
You
know
can
where you're
also
going.
specify,
Oh yeah, a certain
5
amount
feet
of
to the left
distance.
and 2 feet up. Yeah, you can specify
Okay.
that as well.
after hearing that, I'm going to run over to Borden and jump on the horse, go to Borden.
All right.
And I'm gonna open a dimension door to like right inside the
Carriage.
I'm
Is it happening? Is this happening? I just want to
I'm,
make sure.
I'm
Do you
very
resist?
uncomfortable with this, and I can choose to not be willing. Like, you
Do
could
you
be
resist?
throwing yourself in a carriage.
I mean,
I just want to
Okay.
know. Are we doing it?
so I'm going to tell him really quickly we can save him, and then you can whatever.
Oh, so you're under the influence that he's being attacked. Okay. Do you want to do this? I need verification before we proceed.
I really don't want to do this quite yet, but
Okay, if Borden doesn't want to do it, then I'm not going to go in there by myself. So
All right.
like, we can hold
I am
that until we,
satisfied.
get confirmation the man is, wounded or dead.
Or if there's enough room in there.
Make an insight
Yeah.
check, everybody. Because the guys around the carriage don't seem fazed by this. Is it Daria? You're just in the dark, or was that your previous roll?
No.
Yeah, Oscar and Zara.
That 6 was the hunchback for Daria.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, 15 and higher would allow you to kind of ascertain that these guards seem familiar towards this kind of conduct, as they're not even making any movement towards the carriage. So, the ideal that he is being attacked, I don't know, maybe these guys don't know no better and his guy is getting attacked, but these guys ain't making a move for the carriage as if they were to protect them.
Did you guys hear anything?
Yes. And so did they, and they're not moving. They're taking our bounty.
We still have a bounty to serve.
It sounds like the master has made his choice, I'm afraid. Are you sure you wish to continue harassing my master?
We're following the letter of the law here.
Yes.
Kind of sitting here without really doing too much.
I'm gonna bust in.
You have two
Really?
people in front of you who are going to stop you. I mean, you just can't reach the carriage with these guys guarding it. So if you're going to go through to the carriage, you're going to have to go through these guys. And as you guys are having this standoff, the sun has finally fully set. And the moonlight is kind of casting itself down as it starts to turn into dark hours. Ah, I think the time is right, my dear. And the door opens up. You see this black cape, red garments, regal looking, yet also kind of gothic in its own right, just kind of marched down off the steps. I do hate when the sun's about. So, who is my company here that wishes to harass me while I'm doing business? And he kind of directs an eye towards
Like
all of
the
you.
sun there.
His eyes beady and kind of reddish.
So
We're
I
simply
had
serving
pair
a
of
warrant.
If you think you can, my dear, would you like to try? And he holds his hand into the carriage, and out walks Smiles, yet she seems more paler than you've seen her before.
If his name is Vlad, I'm gonna rage. But
No,
that's
it's not.
beside the point.
It's not. Very close, though. You want to ask him his name? That would be proper. But you see him escort this young lady off, who looks like Smiles, but paler. Allow me the pleasure of introducing to you Lady Viola, my soon-to-be bride. And you can just see her smile.
Yeah, of course. She doesn't have a name.
Alright,
She abandoned
so
that long ago.
I've got a pretty solid inkling the man's a damn vampire.
Are you by chance a vampire, sir?
You're gonna ask that out front? I do
I'm
believe
asking
Jack,
Star if
dude,
I need to make a
one
check
second.
to.
Can we
Yeah.
kill Sam?
Yes, I am asking that out.
Jesus
For
Christ.
fuck's sake.
Maybe introductions are to be had before bloodshed. I am Von Strausen Morkovich. You may call me Von. I am a noble from the northern city, way up on an island of Morkovich. Now, if you do not have any wish to die here, I suggest you let us be so we can go tend to our business at the castle proper.
I
For-
point at Smiles. That is our quarrel. There is a bounty on our head.
Oh, I'm afraid Lady Viola thinks otherwise. Come, my dear. We'll see if they leave us be. And she just kind of smirks and walks back inside. Shuts the door behind them. And the 4
I'm gonna
guards...
say we're not.
Yeah, the 4 guards
Right.
are just kind of posted there, seeing if you're going to make a move. Ford!
Everyone, you should probably back away from.
Ford, Itcha. I don't think we're going to have any problems. Aye, master. And with that, the 4
Alright.
horses start galloping towards the city.
So, Razor, we're gonna fly by the seat of our pants here a second, alright?
Okay.
I'm gonna check one thing,
Okay.
and then you remember your horrible, awful plan?
Yes.
We're gonna do it.
Okay. Let's do this.
I'm going to ready my bow and hide.
As the carriage moves away, now 30 feet away from you. 40.
Yeah, we're doing it
50.
right now.
Alright, so what do
Open
you...
up the door.
Oh my god. You-
Another natural one. Oh, no,
The party is safe. I see them all around me. But Mr. Vampire and Fresh Vampire are going to be bathed in radiant glory.
I didn't go step through.
And I'm going to walk 5 feet away from our party and cast Radiant Consumption on myself.
That's the
As-
10-foot radius, and it hits yourself too.
As you start to make your way into your dimension door with the spirit guardians flooding, you find yourself unable to vamp inside. You feel a sense of anti-magic.
So do we just like pop out to the side of it?
You pretty much don't even vamp because your location is unvampable.
So can I cast it again, or
So
do I need to
Direct in
consume-
front of it, then, if you can't go around it.
Yeah,
you're into it.
I'll go in front of it.
So you're casting it again, and this time going in front of it?
Yeah.
Alright, so you're in front
Not
of it.
directly in front.
Okay, define in front then. Like
A
in the
little
middle.
bit over to the side so we're not instantly trampled when we get there.
Alright, to verify, middle of the road or side of the road near the ditch?
Can we get a
Not-
visual aid with a path on this guy so we can properly
Not in the-
position?
Well, yeah, I
Immediate
guess we can try that. Let's see here. What do we got here that we can use? Yeah, we can
Don't you
use-
have that?
Yeah. Hold on. We got a map.
Yeah, the cart map from last time,
Yeah.
Wednesday, or time before.
Yeah, that might help with visuals.
Yeah, give me a minute here to get rid of some tokens. I think we used this once or twice here too. I want to just delete everybody.
This is a bad idea.
It is.
This is a horribly awful idea.
That's why I asked.
But
Let's do it.
yeah, no, let's do it because I'm.
Okay, let me get back on the right.
I can tell they're undead. I've studied this shit a bit. Yeah.
And I can too.
So yeah, 4 horses are up here.
So your guys in front or on top of the fucking carriage?
I'm trying to position about where I'd want to land.
I didn't think about the top, but I think we'd probably fly off the top.
Well, if you can catch
Well,
your
I-
bearing and throw a big fireball on the horses, that would shove a shit ton of.
I am the fireball, okay?
Well, there's multiple fireballs. Okay, so yeah, hang on, let me get the.
Is that you said the horses were in this neighborhood?
Yeah, in front of it. Alright.
Alright, yeah, I can cover the horses and the carriage.
How far away are they again?
30 feet from where my character is right now. Well, it's like wow, it's set up right now. You're like probably right
Feel
by
free
me.
to drag your token off while I get everything kind of set on my end.
Okay,
This. That was a fail. There.
How do we do that again? Oh, there.
Yeah, Leo and Zareth, looks like you're about position where you need to be. Hey, I might leave these two on the map. This seems amusing.
Where did the extra guard go? Oh, the carriage driver.
Oh yeah, I need him too, don't I?
Well, you said 4 guards and an extra guy, so that makes the carriage driver.
Yeah, but one's the actual vampire. And then there's Miles.
So I hate to say it, but we're probably bringing in a body.
That'll be fun.
I don't think we're going to bring back anything at all.
I think we're gonna die all here.
If this is how we wrap it, I'm going out like a fucking badass, alright?
Alright, I'll join you in that.
Oh,
We can all roll up new characters next
My
week.
ancestors
and,
are smiling at me, vampire. Can you say the same?
I don't have any ancestors.
So all out.
Yep. We're doing
Alright.
this.
Dirty,
Oh my
nasty.
goodness.
I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick before we get into this.
Yeah, this might be a
Before we
great
die,
point to,
Yeah, let's take a break, everybody, since I'm still kind of making sure I got things set up on my end. Take 5 minutes, use the restroom, get you something
get
to drink.
drinks, get
Yep.
snacks, prepare your epitaph for your headstone.
Yay!
Yeah.
They make sure I have the map down for all my shit.
Damn, I need to make sure these
I-
things are going to be... Oh yeah, this is going to be hell.
If you get
It's
drink,
10.
no, I'm gonna. Speaking of getting a drink, I think I'm gonna need one for this.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm going to grab me rum.
Let me see here. Well, you be careful,
You
don't
went back.
overdrink, because unless you really want to die.
No, just one. Just.
That is not the goal. But this is going to be a fun fight, one way or the other,
Shit.
because Mr. I Rule a Kingdom is not gonna go down like a pansy.
No, well, what
he's
I
a
was
noble, but
what I was thinking is like you're going to use
I'll be back.
Dimension Door and get Sparrow involved because I'm dead.
Oh god, the horses are enemies too.
the horses can be enemies if they like.
Yeah, but I got a feeling they won't be there next round. Because the way I
Alright,
see it
I'm
is,
back.
yeah, you're gonna hit everything outside the carriage, and then this carriage is gonna stop. But I'll be back.
Yeah,
to it.
just I mean, it doesn't go careening and crash into a ship, you know.
Oh mercy.
I don't think Star was ready for us to go ham.
I really hope there's not 5 vampires.
I
They're all
don't
the
read.
s- They all have the same little icon, but I'm not quite sure.
If they're not vampires, they very well could be thralls.
True. Because a vampire itself is a CR13, so like, there's a chance, but it's a small chance.
The CR13 is very like deadly style encounter. Like someone could be buying the farm more than someone could be buying the
So-
farm.
One to 10, how screwed are we?
I'll give us a solid 7 out of 10. We could very well be fucked. But that also depends how the dice roll.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm back.
Because there's going to be more than, well, there's going to be more than one thing here.
So much shit. Star really doesn't want us to win anything.
Don't
Ever.
worry, I'm basically a radiant being. So
Yeah, you kill everything, even your own friends and yourself, so.
oh no, radiant. One. I need to make sure of that now. I think about it.
At least I'll get to play a druid next week.
I'll be a wizard.
I'm tempted to play a bard so I can be a complete smartass with cutting words.
I'm gonna drink more! Sorry.
You're good. I don't even know if we're still audible on the Twitch stream, but
Wait, stop talking for a second.
No, you are. I did switch
Yes,
it.
we are.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I did switch it. Everybody knows your plan. So,
Excellent week to tune in. We could be
Who wants to write
not
a
here next week.
Who wants to write a will? We were just
Everything goes to the man that kills me. That's how that works.
He will know what this symbol means.
Yeah. I wrote it when I was 5.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Were you expecting this star?
Well, the thing is, I wasn't planning for it to happen, but I knew it was a possibility. So it's not like, well, I was kind of half-assed playing on this. But yeah, this is going pretty extreme.
I have a new toy I haven't broken out today.
Alright. So who am I waiting on?
I'm here.
Is Seraph back?
Alright, I guess we're waiting for Sarah for sure. I think everybody else is sitting around here thinking about this.
It is.
I mean, my battle plan hasn't changed other than the fact I'm not. It's not a I'm not stuck in a room with you. You're stuck in a room with me. It's looks like I'm gonna have to mow down everything to get to you.
And they're also going full speed right beside us, so you're gonna get at least one hit on pretty much everything.
They didn't take the dash action, so they wouldn't have the momentum to be at full speed carrying the weight quite yet.
No, they were still kind of going at normal speed at the moment.
Alright, I'm back.
So I guess for this, we should probably roll that initiative thing.
Yes.
I do want
Let me-
to
let me
drop
get a
the
surprise
damage.
round?
Yeah, I
Don't get one
think we do
surprise
get that
round.
surprise round.
Hold on.
God.
Let me move last
Forgot.
Simish. Alright, feel free to start filling up the initiative.
Leo's 16.
I got it.
Oh, you're just gonna have to re-roll when I finish opening it up.
It was open and it was empty, so I rolled it, and then you cleared it, and I rolled again.
Yeah. Well, I told you I had to clear this sheet because it was last week's and it's still there. Go ahead and pop these out. Whew, I got a lot of work on my end here. Alright, do we have all initiatives?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Alright,
All
so...
the players are in.
let's see here, this
Wait, are we missing one? No, we got those up. Right.
Hey, I'm not the last.
the
Oh yeah,
horses will go...
first round.
Alright, so the horses will go on initiative 20. So the
So
carriage
just
will
out of curiosity, do me and Gordon get a surprise round?
Yes. Since
Would
you
I
guys
get one as well? Because I said I was preparing, to fire my bow when they said they were going to jump.
Yes, we'll go into this. So we'll start with Oscar vamping Borden and himself. God damn, a lot of you wrote 16. What the hell?
So that's my action.
Yeah.
So that was your action. And then Borden's gonna cast Spirit Guardians as soon as he lands, right?
I prepped it before he went, since I had everyone in view, and then we bamped over.
Alright, so with that, go ahead and roll me, or tell me what I need to roll, because I know there's a saving throw.
Yeah, I'll go. I already output the spell card.
Let me look up. We spammed. So, do I need to make a saving throw, or what?
I need wisdom saves from everything.
Yep.
Then I'll go ahead and get that. I've already got my aura up.
So, my 4
Oh,
wisdom
yeah,
for the
I can do
horses.
that.
What's the DC on that? 6. Okay, 15. So one of the
DC
horses-
15.
So 2 of the horses will take half, and the other 2 will take full. That will be enough to immobilize the carriage. Okay, so they have only 19 HP. So those took 22, and for half will be minus 11. And yeah, the damage got sporadic enough to make it to where these 2 horses aren't in direct line, so they're kind of tumbling over. Damn, that kind of prevents them from moving. Alright. So, let's see.
I also
got-
need
yep.
the little vampire mooks and the driver.
Yep, let me get on.
And
Alright, so the driver.
I believe it would affect the people in the thing as well, but that...
Nope. So
It's
it'll
only a
take-
range of 15 feet.
That's not the problem.
Oh, do I have the wrong radius up?
No, that's not the problem.
Oh, there's anti-magic thing that you said.
Like, you tried the dimension door directly in, but you couldn't.
I had the wrong radius up, but
Okay, good. So, you would...
it's still the driver and one of the guards, 4 horses.
Yeah, so we do that guy's wisdom. Yep, put
For some
move
reason,
work.
I try to put a move speed of 30 instead of a...
Alright,
yeah,
so they...
aura.
So the DC is 15, so they both save, so half damage. Alright. Draft horses are flailing. Oh, Zara, go ahead and make your attack. For the surprise round. And tell me what you're doing.
Back up. I'm going to fire at this guy
Okay, make
with assassinate short bow.
so you pop out from the shadows. Did you roll a stealth check on that, by the way?
Yes, I rolled just before they jumped. It's 30.
Oh. I don't think they'll be able
It's
to.
above Borden's spell card.
Alright, go ahead.
.22 to hit.
That'll do it.
Oh, not 20, damn.
No, it's not. I had to do
it's
something
assassination.
with modifiers so that I would get auto crit. But that is
Alright, so what's the damage?
22.
So 22 points of damage as this one up here feels an arrow slams into the back of his shoulder blade, and he just kind of turns and snarls and points in your direction. What do you want to do?
I want to move back behind the rock, and as a bonus action, I would like to take that ethereal dagger out of my backpack.
Okay. And that'll end your turn?
That will end my turn.
Alright, for surprise round is now done. It's Adaria. You're
Bonus action.
you using a bonus action?
Bonus for quicken to light everything ablaze.
Alright.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em, chaps.
So post a spell.
Consider it hitting everything.
Well, if you throw it in the back, then everyone is safe.
Where are you detonating it? Because that's kind of important.
Yeah.
Ping where you detonate it.
It's 20
I
feet.
gotta hit someone.
Well, I'm saying,
Wait,
where are you
is 20
detonating the spell? I need to know its point of origin. So, off to the side of the carriage?
If you take that purple ping, then you hit everything.
So you're firing it over here, right?
Okay,
Razor! Everybody quit! Stop!
Okay.
Stop it! Stop it, everybody! Drop the arrows,
I've
drop
done this
the thing.
before.
Now, I just need to know where he's doing it. That's you pinging, right? Razor?
That's the red, yes.
Alright,
That'll hit it.
so as it washes over that area, those two will get hit, but as soon as it comes across the carriage, it goes no further. It's like it licks up against the carriage and flings off. But you do get these two. So DC 14 on those, so let me get to their page. That's why I needed to know the point of origin. So Dex saves? Ooh, they're pretty good at Dex. But one of them fails, so 27, that'll be 13. And then the other one will take full brunt of that. Let me check immunities real quick. Alright.
Would have hit the two horses too.
Well, only it would probably hit that one on the far end, so he would be dead. But the other one gets protected because of the carriage angle.
Okay.
Like the angle of the carriage kind of blocked the blast from reaching it.
Alright.
Alright, so with that,
So is the outside of the carriage, is that anti-magic field or the inside?
you don't know. It's Adaria.
Mhm. I will cast Flame Sphere at 3rd level. Click third. Oh,
Aren't your spells locked at a certain level because of Warlock?
Warlock, they can be locked at 3. But I
You can
need
use
to
them
do
at whatever
another.
level, but you
You
can
do
use them at
another-
the highest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't set up Drain Flame Sphere correctly. Need to roll another d6.
What am I waiting for here?
Okay, say it. Flame Sphere, right here.
What does Flame Spear do?
Does a
What do I
radiant.
What do I
Oh,
need?
you need to roll a dex save, and
This is-
creatures take 9 fire damage. And
You should just roll the spell card.
Yeah, you can have a spell card.
They
trying to
say-
figure that out.
Like, you should be able to drop the spell in and it will post the spell card. But I will now look it up
I think
too.
that's it. There we go.
So the spear stays there at that location?
Yeah. Yep. Stays there. And I could move it with a bonus action if I wanted to. At last.
Alright, there's your flame spear. Where do you want it?
It's right here.
Where is it? Okay, you're aiming for this side.
Yeah.
How big is this thing go?
It is a
5-foot diameter.
So that's
5
it.
foot, yeah.
So where exactly are you putting it? Because it looks like you can only attack one person.
Then I'll put it on. I'll put it on the one guy here. Sorry, I read the diameter wrong. I'll put it on
Top or bottom?
this guy then.
Oh, that guy.
Bottom.
Alright.
And then I'll walk up to him.
Alright, where are you gonna stop? Move your.
So
Right
it's a 5-foot sphere, but any creature within 5 feet of that sphere takes the damage, or it does the save and it takes the damage.
So it can be right there and take on too, and then. Alright.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
then never mind. Then I'll put the.
So there.
Read your spells.
Yeah. Be ready for these questions when I ask them. And then what do you
Sorry.
have up?
I have radiant damage and radiant consumption. And let me just click the damage for it.
That's an ability.
Yeah. And the person right there takes 8 damage, and then another 7 as well.
Let's see here.
And then I take.
See, they succeeded on their dex save, so how much damage total on the flame spear?
The flame sphere is a total of 9.
So they would take. Shit. Okay. And then what else?
They take the 8 radiant, and this guy take 7 radiant. The
Do
one
they get a
that
saving
has-
throw?
It's
No, it
set
doesn't look
around
like it.
her.
That doesn't
Yeah.
sound.
Radiant consumption just does radiant damage equal to half your level rounded up.
Yeah. And then I take 4 radiant damage myself.
Mhm.
Yeah, everyone within 10 feet of you.
Yeah.
Kind of hisses at you as it takes an additional. Is it just the 8 or the 7 too, or what? Tell me the total.
It's 8 and 7. I can pick
15?
one person to do extra 7 damage.
Alright, so 15 points of damage as he hisses at you. So you have his ire. Alright, Sarah, what do you want to do? Or did you need to do anything else in Sidaria?
That's good. I'm just making sure that you know it's radiant, though.
Right.
I'm going to shoot another arrow at the guy that Cindy is attacking.
Alright. That will miss. Your
A
arrow
natural
goes
1.
and it flings off. Let me roll severity on your natural 1. Hold on. Roll damage.
That's 6 piercing.
Unseen attacker. You take 22 points of piercing damage as an arrow that was intended for the target in front of you accidentally hits you in the back in Sidaria.
Okay, I'm not that good right now.
So a wild arrow comes spiraling out, and you're like, "Oh shit! I didn't aim high enough," and it slams right into the back of Sidaria, where you're trying to aim for that headshot on the other vampire. What do you want to do?
Oops.
Oops, indeed. These natural ones can kill a party. What else you want to do?
That's it. That's my turn. I can't do anything else.
Might
I
have to.
just moved back behind the rock, though.
All right. Leo, you just saw Zareth backstab Insidaria on accident. Sooner or later, one of them's going to kill the other anyway. What do you want to do?
I don't know that it's an accident.
That is true, and then you're probably having an inner conflict. Like I probably would have done it too.
I was thinking about it, yeah.
By the way, I was not stealthed.
She doesn't see you.
She had her back
is
to you.
Okay.
Am I not in the tracker at 9?
You are you not?
because you crit failed a vampire initiative for the vampire spawn. There's a
re-roll it.
vampire spawn at 9.
Yeah, I guess your roll didn't go in. Either you put it in before I erased everybody or something.
I
maybe.
didn't though because
I'll
Incidari's
put-
is right above it.
Do you want me to put you at 9?
That's what I rolled.
Alright, I'll put you at 9. I'll put you at 9, Fred. That's not a problem.
I got the trackers like, wait a minute.
Alright, so we're up to Leo's turn. Let me reorganize this and get down to Leo. Alright. There you go. Alright, Leo.
Right. I moved there and I attacked this guy in front of me.
Alright, go ahead and make your attack roll. You swing with the hammer, miss. You swing again, miss. You swing once more, you're just whipping at air. This guy's just kind of deftly ducking back from you.
That's my turn.
Damn, that was a quick turn, wasn't it? You
Well, if
hear
I know what I'm doing, I mean...
You hear this giggle from within, and then you hear a soft voice. No, now, dear. Let them handle this. We have other adventures to take care of. Aw, but I want to go and play. After all, they wanted to hire me as their maid. But she will hold her turn until somebody comes in. Alright. And he will hold his turn as well. Borden.
Alright, so... are all of the vampire guards holding turns?
No, just the one that's inside. The other 4 are going to go on Vampire Warrior.
Ah, the one right below me.
Yes.
Alrighty. See, because I have a new toy.
Like you're not using one already. Does it require concentration and you break your spirit guardian?
It doesn't require concentration.
Well, what's your toy? 'Cause I'll be the
So
judge of
I'm...
that. No, what do you want to do? What are we doing, Borden?
So I'm gonna need a token.
Well, tell me what we're doing and I'll get you a token.
I just output the spell card.
Alright. Large spectral guardian appears and hovers on a space of your choice. You should see with the range. And where do you want this token?
I'm going to set up a very severe deterrent.
Let's see what we can. Let's see what
So
we
is there a token I can move that isn't me?
How about you borrow?
Well, I can move me.
How about I do this? I'll let you borrow Shishe. She'll be your token of guardian.
I can't.
You don't
Pick up
control it. Where do
Shishe.
you want it? Where do you want it? Ping.
Well, I need her. I believe a size category larger. Just
Where do you want her?
and then if you set her on top of the top right horse.
Top right. Is that what you're wanting?
Yeah, the nice hefty deterrent there.
So this spirit guardian appears. Shield and sword ready, right? Except for a gleaming sword and shield embolizing the symbol of Kazuya. Any creature hostile to you that moves in that space within 10 feet of the guardian for the first time must make a dex save. Creature takes 20 radiant damage on fails and half as much on success. The guardian vanishes when it has dealt a total of 60. Alright. So I'm going to put a note here that's 60 points. Alright.
Yeah, if you want to set the 60 points as HP, you can
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
duck that easy.
So the spirit guardian appears. That's your action, and it lasts for 8 hours.
8 hours or until its duration or damage is eaten up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And then
And not even concentration.
What do you want to do for a bonus?
I was gonna move.
Okay, what do you want to do there? Just move in. Roll your. Okay, he was already in, so he will take damage on his turn, if I recall correctly, right?
Yeah, I was moving
And
to
you're
catch
trying
that
to
second
engulf
one.
the second one? Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
he's
Roll me
just
the-
on the edge there.
Roll me the initial damage, and what was the save on that again?
It'll be DC 15.
Was it Dex or?
It outputs the wisdom. It's a wisdom.
Okay.
It puts it out when I
Okay.
roll the damage.
That's all I need. Save, so 10.
What an asshole!
Yeah, he's like, fuck off, dude. But he looks severely hurt by this. Which, probably should be counting that kind of stuff too. Alright, so you're whirling in here. You have your Guardian of Faith now stalwartly holding ground here, ready to deal some damage if anything comes within the vicinity. And you just kind of weasel your way over there without even taking an action. Okay, you use your action. Have a bonus action. Anything else you want to do?
I'm a tad short on needed bonus actions right now.
So that's your turn.
Yeah, I think that'll be the turn for now.
Equal amount of threats. He hisses, but he still rushes forward to Oscar.
Alrighty, so he will. Well, there'll be a dex save from the Guardian there.
5, 10, yeah, I guess that is within 10.
It's a huge disincentive, like I said. And then I need to output this because he started his turn.
Yeah. So he'll take 7, 6. So he takes 6 points of damage as a strike lashes out.
That was his dex save versus the Guardian.
Yep.
So 10, I believe. Half on the save.
Oh, okay, is that it?
Yeah, 20 on failed save,
So
10 on.
I need to take 10 off. And then
And then he has to whiz save versus Guardians.
you just put me through the ringer, so that's a fail. And that's the full 13 or what?
Yes, that'll be the full 13.
Yeah, he's looking haggard. Though, you know,
He ate 23 points to move in.
yeah, and he's like, ah, damn this bright light. Ugh. But this here guy casts some fireballs. That could be a problem, so we need to take care of this situation. So let me double check what he can do. Actually, I think what we might do first, seeing as you're causing so much hell, he turns towards Borden, someone he could see within 30 feet, and I need you to roll a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw.
Is he casting a spell? I'm going to use counter.
It is not a spell. Against magic. It's magic, but it's not being cast as a spell, I don't believe. It's a vampire ability.
I don't think I can counter that.
No. So go ahead and roll your wisdom save, Borden.
I rolled a 2.
So you are now compelled by your new friendly vampire. You regard the vampire as a trusted friend to be heeded and protected. Although the target is under the vampire's control, it takes the vampire's requests or actions in the most favorable way, and it is willing the willing target for the vampire's bite attack. Ooh. Each time the vampire or vampire's companions do anything harmful to the target, you can repeat the saving throw. Otherwise, the effect lasts 24 hours or until the vampire is destroyed. So, yeah, let's have fun with that. It looked towards Borden, and all of a sudden, a different recognition in Borden's eyes kind of lights up. With that, it'll finish its move with a great sword attack on Oscar.
Obviously did.
And you feel this great sword rake across your chest as it slashes through your robes. Blood kind of gushes towards the vampire, and he kind of licks the air, tasting what's coming towards him.
I haven't been hostile to this one yet, so...
You threw a fireball at his friends.
It is friends, not him.
Yeah, and you became a threat. And Borden did too, and that's why he did what he did. Oh, I have an interesting idea. Leo, make me a wisdom saving throw.
We're all about to become slaves.
You have been compelled to join forces. It's Sidaria. How about you make me a wisdom save?
Okay. Good luck with me.
Please let her save, and then we all kill her.
That fails. You are now compelled to join your vampire friends. With that, Oscar.
I'm a little screwed right now.
Only I could use counter spell. God.
I know.
There's only one that hasn't made a full.
I have it.
But then again, these two haven't. I'm indecisive. I don't know what I want to do. High, I'll just outright go after you. Low, I'm gonna try to get you charmed too. Okay. So this last one. But before that, this guy's gonna be like, can you kindly turn off your spirit guardians and your guardian spirit?
Guardian Spirit is a no-go.
Well then, why don't you go ahead and turn off that
Oh
bright
crap,
light
I just
that's
thought of
around you.
something.
So he's gonna suggest you turn that off. And in Sidaria, you two
I'm now hostile, right?
toward too.
Borden.
Well, he hasn't made an attack on you yet, and he already
I
signified
know,
that you were
but
protected
am I
by.
hostile
No,
to
you're
him?
not. You're not.
You're not hostile.
Okay.
All of
Well-
my spells deemed you as safe.
Except for the guardian spirit. I see where you're going, but I think we'll let it pass this round, since this all
Okay.
just happened. Initially, it was
You would have
cast
to
with you
move in
as
its
a-
10-foot range and stop
Guys,
where.
someone's talking to me.
Alright, so.
Alright, so we're gonna have an interpretation here. And
Wait. Actually, I don't even have to move in on him. Like, I could stay outside your range, so he'll move out here. And he's gonna stare within 30 feet. That should still be 30, right? Yep. Make it with some saving throw, Oscar.
Hey, you went into the Guardian's range.
He's on the outside
I'm
edge of it.
He did.
No.
No, it's
No.
10.
He was initially. Oh, okay, yeah.
It's
Well,
10.
then we'll.
Yeah.
Then in that case, here. There. You happy? He's trying to stay without being threatened, so he's just
I
gonna go
really
ahead
don't want to make this roll.
and make it.
Natural one.
The entire party has been charmed. Now, for the rest of this, you guys are considered charmed for 24 hours. The first
Now,
thing.
I do have a thing here before we got to that second charming on the charming on Oscar.
What's that?
It was requested of me to turn off Mr. Flashy Flash around me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm supposed to be protecting this thing, and I would now regard Oscar as hostile, so removing my spell would be detrimental to the protection of my new friend.
Mm-hmm. That's why he asked you to turn it off, because he doesn't want to be hurt by you anymore.
But he's asking me to turn off a spell.
If you have the ability.
The fact that I've declared Oscar safe
Okay, now your Spirit
from
Guardians.
the Guardians. Yeah, I'm talking about Spirit Guardians right here.
Yeah, you can turn that off, right? That's your concentration spell, right?
Yes, I can choose. I can turn it off concentration-wise.
Yeah, so that's what
But
he's
I'm
asking.
supposed to be. I was supposed to be attacking Oscar at the time the request was made, where
No.
I would regard Oscar as hostile.
Well, not unless he attacked. Like, Oscar hasn't attacked that guy yet. Here's the specifics.
No, I know what charm is.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Although the target is under the vampire's control, it takes the vampire's request, actions, and stuff. But
In a
each
favorable
time the
way.
vampire or the vampire's companions do anything harmful to the target,
I'm not talking about a target or trying to negotiate a save or anything.
well, tell me
I'm-
exactly what you're trying to say. I mean, what are we doing?
That's what I'm getting at.
He wants you to turn off Spirit Guardians. Are you going to follow his order?
That's where I'm going with this whole charm thing. He wants me to turn it off.
I need you to
And at
turn
the
it
time
off
the
so I can
request-
stand next to you. Otherwise, you would keep hitting me. What's the big deal? Please, turn it off.
He can't turn it off, though. That's the thing, right?
It's a concentration spell. He can easily
It's a-
forget.
You can
Oh.
turn off Spirit Guardians, but not the Guardian of Light.
Yeah, the Guardian, he's not... Like, this here, he understands. And he'll deal with that later. She's just stuck there. But this AoE thing that you got here, he's asking you to... Whatever you have that's
No,
hurting me, please turn it off.
That's what I get. What I was asking, at the time the request was made, as his turn resolved and you moved on to the next one, Oscar was not charmed. This is an aggressive spell, and I'm supposed to be protecting the vampire.
So you're saying that Oscar should be hit
So
by
that
the
I would
spell
have
now so he can make another wisdom save, or what? I mean, that's what I'm trying to hear, because even though he's
No.
being hit, he's not concentrating on charm. You're charmed.
That's.
I'm not understanding what
I am
you're
protecting vampire. Yes.
getting. Yes.
Okay. I have an aggressive spell around it. The fact that Oscar has been deemed as safe from it is irrelevant at this point. I have an aggressive spell up and a non-friendly at this point.
I understand that part. Now, what are you getting at?
So,
So why would I turn my aggressive spell off when there was a non-friendly on top of the vampire?
Because there is a friendly who can be affected by it too, because it was already designated that he was a foe at the time of casting. Your spell conflicts with the order, which means he's asking you to turn it off. Otherwise, you would deem that you would have to turn it off anyway, so he's not hurt. Otherwise, you would have to ask him to leave the sphere of influence.
See, that's what I was trying to resolve, because he was asking me to make a detrimental thing to his protection because of the...
Yeah, but at the same time, the round was still progressing on the other side. They were going to try to charm all of you at one point anyway. So for the sake of brevity, let's just kind of progress this a bit, unless there's something else you need me to be noted of.
No, I was just trying to make sure that that wasn't, telling the thing, well, if logic is wrong, logic has to be right, the... What was it, Star Trekking the AI, I think it refers
Well,
to?
here's what we're going to do. One of the horses manages to survive. They ask you to turn off...
Did it? Because
all-
it had the second round.
It hasn't come back to the beginning of the round.
It,
Like, it goes
it
on
had
in
my
turn
round.
20. Yeah, it comes... His round, the horse's round didn't come up till turn 20. So it's still...
No,
way
but it had
towards-
my round of damage, too. It had the one where I landed, the surprise round, and then the second round.
Yeah.
That is true.
Well, that's fine, because you know what's going to happen here. They're going to ask you to
We
detach the
become the
horses.
horses.
No. You brought them 2 horses, fresh from the stables. They're going to ask you to take off the dead horses, put these fresh horses on, and you guys can go home. And they will continue their adventure without you.
so for me, they asked me to turn off a spell. I can't turn off any spell until
Ability.
next turn.
Whatever you are doing to harm me, I need you to quit it. That's basically what he's going to
Okay.
tell you.
I have two things that cost a
Because
bonus
you do not,
action.
because right now you do not want to harm this guy. So whatever you have that's harming
Yes.
him, you're like, oh,
Yes.
let me turn that off or take care of it.
Yes.
If there's anything
But
you
that's
can't
not-
take care of, you might have to tell him, okay, I need you to leave that spot. I accidentally put that there, so sorry. I mean, that's the way you're seeing it. But
Okay.
for 24 hours, you're under the influence of these vampire fiends.
And you
And-
can take another will save when you take damage, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So
You sure
turn
you
off.
wanna- you sure you want to take damage from your own spell right now?
That's the thing. I
What are
don't
we
think
doing?
he has a choice if he can't turn it off.
Well, what are you doing? Tell me what we are doing so we can progress.
Well, I need to turn off the flame sphere.
Can you
Cost
do
bonus
that?
action.
You can do that as a bonus action. So your turn comes around,
Yes.
you flip it off.
But
Alright,
then
so no damage.
I can't. Then the radiant.
Why are you
consumption
arguing?
takes-
We're fucked.
Yeah.
We're already
I-
fucked. I mean,
I mean,
Yes,
if you're taking
but my
damage and you have to make a saving throw, then I can let you do your
Okay.
save throw. If that's not happening, then
Okay.
let me progress.
I'll
So,
take
yeah.
the save throw. There we go.
You're still
And
under
then
the
I take
influence.
the other. Yeah.
And you're all kind of compelled to tie these two new horses that you paid 20 gold each for. Or 20 gold for. And, yeah, I don't see that deposit coming back, guys. They ride
I
back
think
into
I'll go back to
Timor.
the. Oh, then wouldn't the horse master see the person? See the horses?
When did I get charmed?
Oh, that is true. He did not. So, Zara, never mind. We cannot progress any further than this. But I will ask, after you see all these AoE spells stopping, what do you want to do?
Stay where I am. Stop
So,
next to the carriage.
Oscar, you are now charmed. This vampire is your new buddy. Is there anything
What can I
you
do
want
for you, dude?
What's up? What do you want to do to protect this vampire?
I will give him haste.
You would give him haste. Alright. Is there anything you want to tell him?
Be quick.
Be quick. Alright. Why, thank you. You're very nice.
I give one of the vampires from the last bakery.
Alright. So basically, unless you decide to interfere in any way, shape, or form, Zareth, your friends are going to start putting the horses onto the carriage, replacing the dead. You're watching this happen.
I'm going to shoot one of those horses.
Are you hidden?
I believe I am.
Make a stealth check first, then.
20?
It's Sidaria. Leo, I want you to make perception checks for the vampires. You want to protect them. Leo doesn't see a thing.
Do you expect us to see anything?
Well, that's what
Nope.
I'm checking.
Nope.
It's Sidaria. Roll me a perception.
Yep. Nothing.
Oh, wait. Negative +7. Never mind. Alright, one more can look that way. Alright. So, tell me how you're going to get to the front here to shoot these horses.
I have a range of 120 feet.
And you're going to try to shoot through the carriage? I mean, the carriage is kind of in the way. Where are you going to be positioning yourself to make the shot? Where are you going to be positioned? You're going to stay back here and try to do the shot. Because the
No,
carriage
I'm
is
going
going to
to
block your
move.
view.
Yeah, I'm going to move to my left.
Move where you're going to move. Because apparently I'm not looking at you at the right angle. Alright. Still got a carriage in your way. Yeah, them
I'm
horses are
gonna-
right here. Like, that horse ain't over there. He's literally right here.
Oh, I thought they were like 60 feet up ahead because that's where we stopped on the initial encounter, so they would be like 30 feet up.
Actually,
Then
would they be near you since they, left us when we were on the road?
So
Yeah,
what I was
they're heading
thinking
back
was
into the
that I
city.
could shoot.
Very
and,
well. Make
then
your
I could-
attack. I'm done. I'm done. Make your attack. Your
12.
arrow falls short as it bounces off the barding of the horse. Your position is now known. What do you want to do?
Nope. His original attack was 27.
Yeah, but he asked for a new attack.
Yeah, I asked for a new attack, so that's what we're going with.
Oh.
Because I needed to know where he was actually attacking from, and I was telling him where he was originally was not going to work. Now, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna take my bonus action
Uh-huh.
and retreat.
And how do you plan to retreat?
Backwards.
Are you going to
30
hide?
feet.
Are you going to hide?
I can't. I
In
need.
that case, I need Insidaria and Leo to go after him.
I
Okay.
need my 30. I need those 30 feet as the bonus action.
And I want you to cast whatever ranged spell or ability you have to either hit him, burn him, do whatever you have to make sure he doesn't come into contact with these vampires.
Okay.
I am 60 feet out.
Yeah, he's technically 30 more feet than he actually is.
Oh.
So
Then.
go ahead and because the map is kind of bottom out down there, so you can't reach him within melee range, but you can get within 30 feet.
Okay. 1 sec, need to read some stuff.
Leo, is there anything you can do to help these vampires with long range?
I am just looking up the javelin.
Yeah, toss a javelin at him.
There you go.
Yeah, I can move 30 feet up and toss the javelin at him.
By all means, do so. What is that? Is that a saving throw or anything? Cause you,
Saving throw.
What is it? It needs to have it on there.
I believe.
I don't see a saving throw on there. It needs to be on there.
Sacred Flame is
There's a
Yeah.
dex save.
Yeah, and what's your DC?
Yeah.
So, Seraph, I need you to
My
make a dexterity
DC
saving
is
throw.
16.
So make a dexterity
DC
saving
16.
throw, Seraph.
Yep.
Easily done. So
23.
the Sacred Flame doesn't happen. Javelin toss.
No, it does 8 damage.
Shouldn't do any if it's the.
Oh, it doesn't do anything?
It's a
Because-
cantrip.
yeah.
Cantrips
Oh,
don't
never
do
mind.
damage on a fail.
Yeah.
There's a-
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
There's something you can get that lets it do damage on a fail, but you don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the javelin goes spiraling through the air and misses you. But you are able to kind of make your way out. You guys kind of scared Seraph off, and the vampire's like, "That's enough. Just come on back. We're gonna get to town, and then we'll let you be on your merry way." So, for the rest of this encounter, unless there's anything else I need to resolve, Zara?
I'm going to move into the forest and try to track the hide and try to track the carriage as best as I can for another shot at those horses.
Track the carriage. It's just going to town. You can just follow
Yeah,
the
I know,
carriage.
and I want to shoot a horse.
Yeah.
You will no longer...
Shooting a horse does nothing but make us buy a new horse at the stable. Literally, it's
On
just
top of that-
prolonging the encounter.
Yeah, on top of that, you will no longer be able to assassinate the horses, because everything is on high alert now. Even the horses. 'Cause
Okay, no.
first turn of combat.
Don't bother.
Assassination. So here's how it ends. You kind of follow him back towards Timor Kingdom, and the stable hand kind of notices the two horses at the front, but he doesn't say anything. The carriage turns towards the castle. At this point, one of the 4 vampires kind of comes over and looks at the group that got charmed. I need you to tell me where we can find you in case we need your services again. At which
Oh,
point,
we live on that.
yeah, exactly. So you're like, oh, here's where we live. Excellent, excellent. And what do you all do? Bounty hunters? Oh, excellent, excellent. And oh, that's very good to know. Now, is there any other dangers we need to be aware of that you guys are conflicting with?
The Dragon of Jubilee Day, be careful of it. It's very dangerous.
Alright.
A creative interpretation.
I love it. That's perfect. So he's like, well then, we'll have to keep that under
the
advisement.
Tiamat cult was
You
another
should be
hostile
very
threat we
afraid
were
of it.
encountering.
I see.
Well,
Minerva's on the loose. Neo's on the loose.
Who else? Did
Oh,
you say?
the lady that's in your cabin.
Oh, well, could you tell us
What?
more about what bothers you about that? I mean, I know we didn't have a chance to talk, but we're friends here, right? Of course you are. We're all friends. So he's
Yep.
just basically getting everything out of you guys, getting all the information that he can and probably will use against you in the future. So you tell him about Minerva, you tell him about Danilo, you tell him about the Tiamat cult, you tell him about Smiles' murder spree, and, you know, he's like, oh, don't worry about Smiles, she's one of us now, we're gonna take good care of her. He has been never charmed by such a young lady, so he made sure he charmed her right back. You know how that goes, and he kind of gives you kind of like the elbow to the rib cage kind of motions, like, you get it, right? Yeah, of course, you do. You're friends. You're all friends here. Sarah, you're creeping your way into town, and you hear them having this discussion about, ooh, about 50 feet away. Are you going to pass
Hey.
your friends? Because that's how you're going to have to get there.
No alleyways that I can sneak into?
Not on this right turn.
I'm sure there'd be a southern gate if you want to go that far out of the way.
Thing is, you're in the northern district where noblemen have like giant manors and there are no alleyways. There's nothing but fenced in yards. Like, this is a fenced community, so to speak. Like, there's only one way you can go, and that's the road. And your friends are currently on the only path that leads to the castle, talking to this one disguised vampire who is having a conversation, getting information out of your friends.
How far from the gate are they, and is there a possible way that I can make my way onto the rooftops unseen?
Not with the wide yards. Like, you could make your way to the rooftop of the stable, but you would still have to cross the street that they're actually talking on. I mean, they're, like, as soon as you come into town, you take a right to take the path that leads up towards the castle. And they're right there at the lip of that right turn. The stable's to the left of them. There's an open field that is fenced off to the right of them, with a high fence, about 10 to 15 feet high. To the other side of that is the inn tavern that you guys kind of pass by. That's kind of fancy. I mean, you can climb up there, but it's the wrong direction.
At the moment.
Alright, so I need you to make a stealth check. And I would like
25.
everybody to see if they can hear our friend trying to sneak up on us, because, you know, you're supposed to protect me.
Well, I'm gonna stay put, so I think I would be at least more than 30 feet away.
I think that requires a natural 20 for, like, all of us.
Yeah, pretty sure, but you never know.
Yeah.
I want to give it a chance. Alright, so nobody's aware of your presence. I think that's everybody, right? Borden looks okay. If you felt there was a threat to you, yes.
Yeah, just tell them about that then.
Alright,
Might
so
be something in the future.
like,
That might
it's
harm
not
them.
probably not getting full specifics, because you're like you're just telling them major threats, and they're just trying to get an idea of maybe if they need to make allies or alliances with people who, you know, or just basically have better information on you guys, just in case you decide to break up this friendship in a bad way. Hate it when friendships go south, don't you?
What, in 23 and a half hours when the
Yeah.
charm wears off and we're all rightly pissed?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So after that conversation, he's like, you go on, head back home. If you see that one shady character, make sure he pays for his indiscretions. and we shall carry on about our way.
Which shady character is he talking about?
Zareth is the one we're talking about right now.
Oh,
Yeah. So he lets you guys go back to your house, and what better way to take care of Zareth's character than an ambush at home?
Alright, so I'm gonna stretch the limits of trying to avoid PvP here, right? We have 24 hours of charmed behavior.
Mm-hmm. I want Zareth to make a perception check on that conversation. No, he didn't catch it. He was too busy staying hidden.
Wouldn't it probably be best if we stayed, at the inn with them overnight or stayed near them? That way we can protect them better.
Even though you're compelled, they tell you as a friend, just go on and head back, and if you see that guy, go ahead and take care of him for us. That would be the biggest help.
Okay.
They don't need you to babysit him, basically.
Can I become a vampire? We're all good friends here, right?
I don't have the ability
Yeah,
to
how
turn
did
you.
you do
yeah.
I don't have the ability to turn you. My master is the only one with that ability. But
How would
listen,
he,
you
not
do
turn
not
you?
want to cross the master. If the master seeks you out again, maybe then he will take interest in you. But till then, my friends, stay safe and kill those who wish us harm. Especially those Ironforge fuckers and that damnable dragon that comes around on Jubilee.
I know, right?
I'm telling you, petrifies me with fear that somebody would give gifts to kids and then let the dragon eat them shortly after. I'm
Okay,
debating
it's
on-
even worse. It's even worse in my head.
Yeah, I know, right? He's just feeding into your fears after kind of touching on stuff that's got you. Yeah, this guy is like full on right, man. He's your best friend. Why would he lie to you anyway? But
Wild, I'm gonna ask something here.
by all means, I want to work with you guys on this because this could have turned out a lot worse than it could have.
I mean, considering that the guards were all CR-13, not just the master. But, no, simple question.
Mm-hmm.
Where will they be staying in case we find more information
We will seek
valuable
you.
to their interest?
They basically think they got everything they need from you, and they're not going to share that information with you. However, it was already indicated.
But we're good friends!
Yes, and your good friend, the Master, did tell you a location that you might find interesting. I do believe it was mentioned where they
Yeah,
live.
Kingdom to the north, or Barony, or whatever the hell it is, the island.
Strasim Morkovich. There is a island to the north that he controls.
So we will need spellings and all that before this is all said and done.
So if
Because
you wanna
fuck trying to spell that offhand.
Okay, hold on.
Also, I am going to be inquiring about the benefits and way to, turn into a vampire.
Well, let's just say walking out in the middle of the day is not ideal.
I know, but I'm definitely going to have my book out writing down.
Yeah,
notes
you
on
can
that.
actually probably read up on vampirism a bit.
Leo wants to become one.
Well, I'm going to be asking them that right out. Like, hey, what benefits do you guys get, and how do I become one? What's the process?
Only-
Good persuasion roll.
Only if our master accepts you, and that's if you cross his path the second time. But tonight, you will not be crossing our paths for now. So feel free to go home and
I
take
just
care
want
of
the information.
I know, but he's not going to give it to you right off the bat.
Doesn't
You're
matter.
his friend, not the other way around. He doesn't have to be your friend.
Wasted.
Wasted a 20
That
on a
was- that was-
persuasion that wasn't going to work in the beginning. No, like, you...
It makes it work.
Like, you're charmed. You're not even supposed to have direct cognitive thinking towards these kind of self-inflicting type things.
You
You're
do
hot.
know
Tell
that
me
you're
how to
charmed
become-
when the effect ends.
Yeah, when it ends.
You know you have been charmed when it ends.
But you take his suggestions as a dear friend, and he's telling you, don't worry about it.
Yeah, and as a friend,
So,
he's
as a...
like,
No, you can't conflict with the charm spell. The charm spell says that you can't...
I'm not conflicting with charm. I'm just having a conversation. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
and he's just
Yeah.
telling you
Can I ask you?
the basic information that he keeps repeating is cross our master a second time, and if he seems you worthy, perhaps then he will take you under his wing and change you. But till then, enjoy your mortal coil until further noticed. And I shall leave you adieu, my friends. There's a slight bow, and then he turns his back towards you as he walks down to rejoin the rest of his companions. But
I
yeah,
guess since they told us to go home, we was just gonna go home.
yeah.
Probably start benching and strength training for Zareth to come home, so we can squeeze his neck.
There you go.
Probably gonna go to sleep to gain spells back.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
7 in the evening now. You guys make it back home. Zareth, I
That's
don't
right,
know
right.
what you want to do after they clear the path, but
I'm going to the inn
the inn that
and
you're...
ask for. Yeah, at the gate. Now that they're gone, and
And
ask if they have some writing supplies, and I buy one beer.
yeah, that'd be about 5 silver altogether.
Okay.
And what do you plan to do with the writing supplies?
I am going to write a really short letter that what happened and that there are vampires in the city, possibly moving to the castle, because that's what they said. Their name, where they're from, and I am going to roll that up and I'm going to deliver that to the castle, saying that it is a message from Denio for Sparrow. And I also mentioned in the letter that I will be waiting outside if he has more questions.
Make persuasion check with disadvantage.
That's perception, persuasion. 7.
Yeah, they pretty much tell you, pike off. You ain't got no business here. You don't have no badge of nobility. You don't have any right to be here. You're not a fucking carrier. Pike off.
Just
I
sneak inside.
showed that my badge from my adventure thing.
That means
Just,
nothing
my
here.
token.
So what?
I could be
You
hired
go-
by him.
You're an adventurer. You're not one of the guards. You're not one of the nobility that are allowed here. Pike off.
Okay. I take my message with me
Mm-hmm.
and I go to the house of the captain guard.
The north or the south?
Uh,
Oh, the house
guy
with
that
the
got
captain
killed
guard.
that we
Okay, never
looted.
mind. I totally. And what do you want to do there?
We locked everything back up now, didn't we?
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm
Well, you're
going
a
to try to
rogue.
pick the back door again,
Roll.
if there is no one around.
Make a perception and then make a thieves tool. Okay, go ahead and make your thieves tool. You look around, you don't notice anybody looking. +5. Okay, they didn't notice. Alright. You slide it across and it comes unlocked.
I slip back in and is there anyone in the house?
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay, I'm gonna be careful and stealth anyway. With my hood up.
Okay.
Go to the bedroom door. Try to pick that.
The door that was up top in the closet space?
That was up top to the bedroom that eventually led to the secret room.
Alright, how about you tell me where you're heading all the way and I'll just make a surmise.
I
from this.
want to steal the captain's clothes in the wardrobe.
Alright, so you make it into the bedroom and you're now at the captain's clothing. You being a half-elf and him being a human, these clothes are quite baggy on you. Quite baggy. Like, they would actually need a lot of stitching to properly make it look legit.
I'll work with it. I'll take some that would fit me best, and I'm going to try and fetch myself a disguise kit.
Alright. While that's going on, what is everybody else doing?
I'm going home.
Alright, so everybody else
home.
makes it back to the house. Before I go back to Zareth, though, is there anything you're doing at the house to prepare?
Sleep.
He's a hostile, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see if there's anything in his room I want.
Okay.
Say, he's been studying that book a lot.
Yeah, I want that book. If you left it back at the place.
Oh. His door is locked. How do you want to proceed?
His door is locked.
Yep.
Not for
smash it.
long.
No,
I'll
it's
smash-
What
Yeah,
door?
you have that hammer, right?
What door?
you still have that
Don't
hammer, right?
exist.
Let me get an athletics check from whoever wants to make it, and at advantage whoever wants to help. That would assume
Yeah,
the
no,
two
there's
plate
advantage
mills.
on whoever makes athletics. So.
Yeah, because like you got 2 plate mills going up against this door, or heavy characters, I should say. So yeah, boom, boom, your door's busted open, Sarah.
There's
Now,
nothing in my room except my furniture.
you say that.
Books
now.
on you?
I'm pretty sure that furniture is getting reappropriated.
I will take the chair.
I'll take the fancy pillow.
Okay.
I have the fancy pill, not him.
So
Both of you guys.
doesn't he have a fancy bed?
I
Yeah.
have a fancy bed.
I'm gonna sleep though for 4 hours to get my spells back. Be prepared.
Leo, you want to flip a coin, see whose room we move the fancy bed to?
You can have the bed. Can I just have the pillow?
The dumbest shit happens when you leave us with instructions that a party
No,
member
this
is
is
no
fine.
longer an ally.
This is fine. It's not affecting me. So
I'll help you
Zareth,
move the
where
bed. You
is
can have the
your-
bed.
Where is your book?
I put it under the couch, I believe. In the living room.
I mean, if
See,
there's
because
a-
we do have to find that book. Like, we're gonna be searching this house top to bottom in a minute.
I got a
I-
DC
I need
already
a bio
planned.
break. I'll be
Yeah,
right
you
back.
go ahead. I'm gonna run through these guys. I just need to know where it's at. So I have a DC picked for him hiding it, but it all depends upon where you guys are looking.
So we're gonna do 2 batches of investigation with advantage. It's squad of 2 and a squad of 2.
Yeah, I can do that.
Well,
So he was reading the book in his room and in the common space, I believe. So we should check those 2 spaces. Is what I'm thinking.
I'm not helping out with searching. I'm just sleeping to get my spells back because
It's
that's
early,
a more
dude.
advantage.
Just
Hey,
Yeah,
I have
it's-
no
it's early.
spells.
what are
I
you
have no
worried about?
spells.
Yeah, what are you worried about though?
But I'm more advanced.
Why don't you stay up with the rest of your party so you guys could do shit together and bond? You constantly go to bed right after something happens. Like the whole scene
One
with
lone health.
Smiles at the beginning could have been prevented if you would have just stayed down there. I'm just saying
Fine.
you're prioritizing
Fine.
resting over activity that should happen. That's all I'm saying. Like, you
Okay,
need-
fine.
you need-
I'll help search for the book. Investigation.
If
Well,
your
I
character would search for the book, search for the book. If your character wouldn't, then don't. But your character wouldn't go to sleep all the time.
Yeah,
mine would probably.
Okay, then
I
I'll
mean,
just
if
rest.
if I'm waiting up, I'm probably going to be finishing up Skywrite. So
yeah, so I had a DC 20.
I was on the common.
I had a DC 20 on the hidden book. And sure enough, this cushion's out of place, Gordon. pull the cushion up, and this book is right there before you. What do you want to do?
I'm debating, do I try to figure out what the book's about, or do we just destroy it?
I think there's a certain thing about these books being interrupted, like somebody else trying to read it. Let me double check. Like, I think...
See, I'm not sure.
I don't think you can actually see any of the writing because it's invisible to you because it's in use. But let me double check. So that'd be like a manual. Let me look up a manual.
I think it's a manual
It's
of
a
quickness
tome.
of action.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe that's what's called.
I'm going to put Skywrite down as done, and for the next 4 hours, consider Oscar preoccupied.
Alright, so...
See,
So from my understanding interpretation is, even though he has hours already invested in it, unless he gets that book back and completes it before you do, or whoever does it, he'll still get the benefits, but whoever completes it within the amount of time that's allotted, they'll get the benefit. So basically...
you have a week from the day you first open it, pretty much, yeah?
Yeah, so whoever starts reading it now will be able to start a timer on it.
May I read it then, since I rely on dexterity as well?
You wanted to
No,
go to
you
sleep.
already did.
Okay. Well, you said me. Fine.
No,
Fine. I'll be sleeping
you
then.
set a tone, okay? And that tone was... Just saying.
Right. Okay.
And me as a DM, I'll let the players decide who does what. I don't care.
Let's try to destroy it.
You always destroy everything.
Nope.
Is that what we're doing?
This is a hostile character.
See, we don't know what the book does, though. It's obviously magic.
Somebody could
And
find out.
Give me a moment. Give me 10 minutes.
Alright, so while you're taking the 10 minutes to identify it, Zareth, what do you want to do?
Would I have found a disguise kit?
Did you have one originally?
No.
Make an investigation check as you're searching for a shop. Takes you about 10-15 minutes of wandering up and down on the eastern and western sides of this part of the city. But you eventually find a costume shop that specializes in disguises and masks and decorative items. And upon a few of them you also see like Santa hats that are like representation of Jubilee, the guy who hands out the gifts in this kingdom. Or around the world here, in this world. I would say for about 10 gold, because this is a pricey neighborhood, you can get the disguise kit that you would need to help hem the clothing, make everything look legit, and actually try to roll a decent disguise kit.
I'll take it.
Alright. And probably good that you found this shop. It seems more legit looking than any other shabby place. So being in the north side of town, it may cost, but at least it's going to do the trick. Alright, so with that, 10 minutes pass, and I believe it was a manual of quickness, was it? Sarah, what was that book?
Yes, it was.
Alright.
Quickness of hands.
So you find out what the book is.
I'm gonna just tell it to the party and tell Leo. See, if this can be, we can actually get something out of this book instead of destroying it.
Bah humbug.
I'm gonna switch the music up since we're not fighting. So. What are we gonna do here?
Well, I guess technically the only thing that was keeping us from downtime was Smiles, and now Smiles is a friend.
Yeah, her
Hop
and
into
her
downtime.
her new companions and everything, and you guys are just waiting to see if Sereth shows his head. Alright, Sereth, you have your costume set up, you're decked out. Do you have a disguise kit that you can roll? I do
I have
believe it's
now.
like, a deception, unless you have the disguise kit. Go ahead and roll it.
No, I have the actual kit itself, and I'm
Alright.
proficient with it.
Go ahead and roll.
Natural 1.
Good job. Now, what do you want to do?
I want to go to the south guard post. And of course I didn't write down the messenger's guy's name that in Sudaria has been chatting up.
No, you didn't, did you?
Nope.
Are you trying
And
to
I don't remember what it is.
Were you around when the name was given?
Yes.
Then make an intelligence check.
Natural 20.
You remember. Are we talking about Riley, who was the guard that helped you guys also with the... Like, which guard are you talking
It
about?
was Joel.
Like, Joe was
Yeah, it was
the runner.
Joel, the messenger bitch.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Joel,
okay,
yeah.
so you're talking about Joe. Alright, so Joe, yeah. Joel. Joel was the one who was like the little bitch who had to go run and do things. So you're heading to the southern guard post? I will warn you. Going directly that way will take you in front of the building that leads to your house. So how do you wish to proceed?
I'm going to circle around them.
Alright, so you're going to give it a wide berth and make sure you don't cross paths with any of them.
Technically, Zeresh doesn't know that we have to kill him.
No, he doesn't. So...
But his last interaction with us was you guys throwing a javelin and a spell at him.
Mhm.
True, I'll just point it out.
That
And
is
the
true.
rest of you guys stepping in line with vampires.
You in
So-
the base.
So as far as he knows, you guys are... You flip sides or something, I don't know. So...
Yeah.
So you're going to the southern guard post. What do you want to do when you get there?
I'm gonna look for Joel.
Roll me... Perception check, and we'll see if he's here. He is not here. I mean, you find fresh new guards taking this post. All the mess has been cleaned up. You walk in, are you walking in, I should say. You don't see Joel anywhere outside, and just taking a glance at whatever window you could find, you don't see Joel inside either.
Do I see any of the guards wearing their sigil?
Well, yeah, every one of them has to keep their status kind of out there in the open so people know. Kind of like an actual badge.
So I have one of their sigils now myself.
Yes.
Okay, then I don't need to go to the south, then I can just go to the castle. With my horrible disguise.
I'm looking forward to this. Entertain me, Zara. Tell me, what are you going to tell the guards this time as you're spending most of the evening wandering the streets and it's getting really late? Like, we're looking at 8:30, 9 o'clock now.
I'm just going to try and deliver the message at the door, say that it comes from the southern guard post and that it is directed to Sparrow.
Alright, roll me deception.
It's not bad.
No, not too bad. I'm just trying to debate, though, because that disguise kit's going to throw him off.
The disguise kit throws him off. He's not going to look recognizable
Yeah.
as, I don't think, himself or anyone in particular.
Like, he's talking the talk, but his total formal look looks terrible. Like he's been beat up by a cotton loom or something. Like he's been done through the needle and everything.
I mean, the uniform would be, you know, he can put on clothes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I said, these were
Like,
really baggy, and
they're
his
just sewn
disguise
on
kit just
wrong.
did not help him enough. So they grab your message since they're kind of like second guessing, and
It's
they
sealed.
say, "Fine, if we find time to take it to him, we will."
Well, I was told that it was urgent, so if you could please try to deliver it. That would
Very
be,
well.
That would be great. I wish you guys a good evening.
Very well.
And a happy and a safe shift. Goodbye.
I was about to say, happy shit, what? Okay. So you managed to drop that off, and yeah, these guys are... They got your message, but that's as far as you know. So now what do you want to do before I go back to your
I'm
friends?
going to wait outside, see if Sparrow turns up.
Ah,
Because I just informed him that there are vampires in the city and that they were possibly moving to the castle, and I gave them names.
alright. Alright, back to the shop where you guys are with this book. What do you want to do?
Leo gives up and just lets you do whatever with it. He has no interest in reading it.
Words. Things. You got your own workout. You don't need no book, right?
Yeah, I might start working out.
So, Oscar Borden, what's your opinion about this book?
I don't see any use for me to have more dexterity, so I'm going to start preparing my spell.
So you're leaving the book to Borden. What do you want to do with it?
If the book's left to me, I'll go ahead and page 1.
Page 1. There you go. How many hours do you want to dedicate before you go to bed?
Usually go to bed around 10. You said it was...
8:30.
We got
now,
this
but-
book
Well,
relatively
you got it.
quick, though.
I would say 8 o'clock is about the time you got it.
So, 2 hours before bed, then I wake up in the morning, I'll go ahead and get reading again.
I'm looking forward to this interaction the next day. Alright, so...
It's like being drunk and telling your friends to fuck themselves in the worst way. And then,
We just-
I wasn't myself yesterday, dude.
Sorry. And it's going to be one
So,
of those... So...
As of right now, Zeret's room is a broken down door and a bear.
Everything's been
Yeah,
ripped
just-
out. You
Just some
the fancy-
floorboards.
You put the fancy bed in... You put the fancy bed in Leo's room. And then you guys took
No,
out whatever...
Leo took a pillow.
Oh, he wanted just
The
a
bed
pillow,
went
and
to
you-
my room.
So you got the bed. So there's this
I got a chair.
there's this regular bed that's just kind of dangling in the freaking hallway. Nobody even cared to put it in there. But this new bed's in your room, and yeah, you guys pretty much pilfered the shit out of his room. So he's gonna have an interesting conversation when things come back to normal. We'll see how that goes. But as far as the night goes for you, Zareth, hour 1 passes, no response. Hour 2 passes, no response. Hour 3, hour 4, nobody.
I'll wait till midnight.
It's midnight, no response.
Then I go to a random inn
All
and
right.
rent a room.
So you rent a room at an inn, and that will be your night. And as we kind of come to a close here in this odd, charmed situation, all the way up to about 6 in the afternoon the next day, we'll probably pick it up next week. I think that's a good stop point, right?
Yeah.
Give me time to think about what you guys should do for your charm duration, and then we'll see how that resolves itself when you guys get back into it next week. Sound
I
good?
mean, the charm duration would be to stay home. He told us to go home and
Yeah.
wait there.
Wait there, and if your friend
Yeah.
shows up, kill him. So
Yeah.
we might still be trying to kill Zareth, and Zareth, you don't have knowledge that they're going to be totally against you. So I would think
He also
an
doesn't know
inkling-
how long they
Yeah.
charm
Yeah.
for.
Well, he doesn't even know you're charmed. He just knows you guys turned on him.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and burn down the house.
Oh god.
Now you can't take player knowledge and use that against them. Just because they
betrayed me
ransacked
as
your
far as
room.
as far as Seraph concerned, so as soon as I'm going to peep in my room and I see it wrecked, I'm going to draw conclusions.
Well, you have to make it there first.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yep, so we'll see how that goes next week. So, wow. What do you think about these vampires?
I thought you were just gonna kill us.
No, I
I
didn't
did
want to
too.
do that just yet. Jeez,
And
no.
I wasn't necessarily too mad about it.
I have
Yeah,
a.
The
I
only
would
thing that
expect,
irks me is the fact that there are four known full-blooded vampires, a vampire lord, and a neophyte.
It wasn't
That
me who decided they wanted to go after the carriage. It wasn't me who decided let's start this shit.
It was you who decided that Smiles was going to be with them.
Oh, absolutely. Like, that was a thing that was leading up, and you guys just picked the perfect moment when she got picked up.
You just don't want us to win anything, do ya?
I thought this would be fun. You don't like vampires?
Yeah.
Besides, your
no, we
friends
don't
do.
like vampires. That's why I try to kill the fuckers.
Yeah. The thing is, I didn't get the charm spell.
The punches.
That's a powerful charm, though, man.
Yeah.
But
When I have a negative modifier. Shit.
I didn't even get to use any of my spells. Like I got
you
the
used
surprise round.
fireball. I saw that.
That was it's the surprise
It should have
round.
done damage.
That was still an attack. You can't deny. You
Wasn't
killed a
a
couple of
good one.
horses. But yeah, well,
Do we get XP for that?
you know we don't do XP around here. You gotta complete plot hooks, and until we resolve
But,
what happens between you guys and this charm effect, I mean, don't get me wrong, it might be a level up in the near future. We'll see, because I'm thinking the Smiles incident is going to be escalated. You guys have a location that you can investigate if you wish to go further into that plot hook. But yeah, there are several lines for you guys to figure out what you want to do.
Would locate object work on the card itself, or would it be canceled? Since
The carriage is an object,
It's
but
an
if the
object.
anti-magic shield around it,
It would probably prevent it from being detected.
Horse gear.
But
Use the horse gear.
well, yeah, but they're
Or the
probably not going to
wheels.
keep the horses. Those aren't theirs.
I mean, they have no reason not to. They've been paid and you
Yeah,
know,
they've been pretty much paid for, and you guys are like, oh sure, here you go, take these horses we just bought. And Zara tries to shoot him and just kind of misses on that first one.
And to be perfectly honest, if the fight would have went more than one round, I was going to use one as cover.
Oh yeah, did the wheels catch fire or no?
It was an anti-magic
Yeah,
part, so probably not.
yeah. Like, that's why I kept asking you guys where you were detonating your spells, because it had an influence area that if you did it, like, on top of the cart, it wouldn't have taken effect. But as soon as the flames come licking up by it and it's being magic, yeah, it was going to stop there. So it wasn't going to take away
Okay.
all your damage, but anything that went inside. That's why he was like, let's just wait here and see what happens. We don't need to get involved. Let the peons take care of it. But no, that was just one of those situations where you didn't have to fight, but I kind of had a feeling you probably would. That's a lot of threes, friend.
Yeah.
Alright, so we will...
Fire.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. Was that the cat or something?
I did not realize that was Simon.
Alright, so we'll pick up on this next week, 12 p.m. Central. We have a new crew for Wednesday. And we will see what we can get meshed out with them within the coming days. I will be. And then we will have a new Wednesday crew for the Tynet Kingdom. So join us for that. Things are getting interesting on both ends, I think. So if you guys would like, you can go ahead and say goodbye to Twitch.
Later.
Go ahead,
Twitch.
Twitch.
Not nice.
Good night, Twitch. And with that, do you hear the calling? The calling of a carriage coming to a stop. No. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.